Following is a North Platte Post sports presentation. It's time for FNBO American Legion Baseball with the North Platte Post and FM 98.1.
Get set and, oh my God, there goes Blaze Seiler! He did it! He successfully stole home!
Today's game brought to you by Shelter Insurance, Pete Bowles and Brent Rogo, Dave's Place, Pizza Wings and more on East 4th and North Platte. CT Troubleshooters, Premier Toyota, Sandhills State Bank, Wicked Fast on North Highway 83. Use your MyPhillips 66 card and save money on gas. And Lindemeyer Law Office.
The pitch swung, driven, deep left field. That one looks to be going all the way, and it is absolutely crushed out of the park. Carter Kelly with the first home run of the season for the Nationals, and it was an absolute moonshot to left field.
FNBO Baseball, also brought to you by Larry's Glass, the D&N Event Center. Another round in River's Edge Golf Course. Come have another round with them. Great Plains Health and Great Plains Home Care. Larry's RV. Bill Summers Ford Honda Lincoln Nissan. North Platte Public Schools. Willow Creek Embroidery. Quick Stop Convenience Stores. And Runza. Let's play ball. FNBO Baseball from FM 98.1 and AM 1410. And live stream video at northplattepost.com. Here's the voice of the Nationals, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome in, everybody, here to Memorial Field. The FNBO Nationals, who are 21-13 on the season, taking on the 14-13 Kearney Runs here today in American Legion Baseball. It's good to be back, everybody. It has been a long road, feels like, with Nebraska Land days in the back view mirror. It's time to get on to the conclusion of this season for the FNBO Nationals, which is, it's tough to say because, my good golly, it just felt like we started this last week in terms of baseball action for the Nationals. But again, 21-13, a strong year for the Nationals compared to Kearney, a team normally that is on the upper echelon in terms of competition at the level for the Nationals in the area. Currently 14-13 on the year. The Nationals coming off of a relatively okay-ish trip to the College World Series Invitational down in Omaha. It started off really strong for the FNBO Nationals, lollygagging the KB Seniors, who beat them in Lincoln a few weeks ago for the Lincoln tournament. They won 7-0 and then took down the Idaho Falls Bandits 11-5. And then things really fell apart on Thursday and Friday, as on Thursday they lost to the Post 400 Stars 10-2, and then on Friday lost to Dupree Legion 10-9, and then the Lincoln Pius American Legion team 8-2, but did beat the Watertown Post 7-6 to go 3-3 overall in the College World Series Invitational Tournament for the American Legion FNBO Nationals. Now they come on here to Kearney, where they're looking once again to continue the extremely long road stint of their season for the side of the Nationals. Again, really watering down the home games here towards the second half. They're really playing a lot on the road, which has, of course, its benefits and some non-benefits, as, of course, the benefits are you kind of, I wouldn't say gain confidence, but you really start to see competition that you're going to be seeing here in a couple of weeks when the Nationals go to Grand Island for the district invitation, or the district tournament. You know, we're getting that close. We're almost to the district tournament already. So you're going to be seeing a lot of teams on hostile environments and really get acclimated to that. But then at the same time, the downside is you really don't have a game to go home and kind of reset to, because it seems like Bill Wood Field and, of course, North Platte has kind of been the reset city area for it's their hometown, but it really has turned into the Nationals' way to really reset, refocus in, and start putting together some better games whenever they go home and really start to hone themselves down here. Again, quick stop pregame show, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick stop, always open right around the corner. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Farmers Insurance Agent Stephen Rose. Farmers Insurance Agent Stephen Rose has the knowledge and experience to help you better understand your coverage options for auto, home, renters, business, and more. Again, here on the Quick Stop pregame show, we're going to step aside and we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some starters as well as our Owls lock and safe keys to the game. When we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop. With your 24-hour convenience store. Fast, friendly, no one gives you more. Gas, food, your favorite drink. Get everything you need in a blink. That's why everybody stops at Quick Stop. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Memorial Field. The 21-13 FNBO Nationals taking on the 14-13 Kearney Runs American Legion team. Nationals coming off of a 3-3 stint at the recent College World Series tournament in Omaha. Again, congratulations to LSU. That was some crazy games to think about in terms of an overall scoring standpoint in the College World Series. The Nationals here looking to, I won't say right the ship, but now start to build a little bit of momentum as we're getting ever so closer to district tournament time, where they're really going to need all the momentum that you can muster here today, as again Nationals taking on the side of Kearney Runza. We'll actually step into our Owls Lock and Safe keys to the game here. Owls Lock and Safe, securing North Platte and the surrounding areas for over 50 years. We're going to start on the defensive side, really going to boil down, I think, to the outfield. This ballpark is it's a weird mix. It's a hitter's park, but also not really. It's a really short outfield. Max distance is 377 to, well, I would say straightaway center, but to just a little bit off to the side, left and right of straightaway center. But, man, oh man, those balls, they do tend to fall down more often than they do drift far to the warning track. So it's going to be on Blaze Zeiler, Caden Johnson, as well as Andrew Brocious to make sure that they can get to their spots pretty efficiently, because, of course, Nationals like to run a little bit of a defense where the outfielders are pushed more closer to center field to stop any of those gappers into left center or right center, compared to hitting them along the third base and first base line. So it helps that, again, Blaze Zeiler's back, so the Nationals can't really use that speed in the outfield to thwart some of those hits that kind of plagued them the last couple of weeks before Zeiler came up. The hits to the right field side have been a little bit of an issue, not because the defense has been poor, but they just have lacked that extra little bit of oomph, that extra little bit of speed out in right field. And now that Zeiler's back, of course, he's going to have the turbo jets on out there. So that's defensively what's going to need to happen. And then on the offensive side, we all know how aggressive I don't say aggressive, but how strong this Kearney not only pitching, but behind home plate catching ability is with Cole Throckmorton, who for the Nationals has just been a thorn in their side, not just this season, but also last season. He has just been so good at picking off runners and really stopping any momentum that any team has gotten on the base path. So it's going to be up to the Nationals to kind of play a fine line and really not try to overdo it when it comes to trying to advance the runners to second, maybe even third base. We know how aggressive they like to be on the base paths. So with Throckmorton, it's going to be a little bit of a different story, and you hope and you hope and you hope that they just don't get picked off, because that's really costed the Nationals some key runs and some really key games down the stretch here, where they maybe could have eked out a victory if they maybe played it a little more cautious, a little more safe on the base paths. But of course, we all know head coach Ricky Holmes and this squad just love, again, with their blazing speed, they just love to play aggressive here. Now, let us jump into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District in North Platte offers 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. Double Dips also offers homemade waffle cones and bowls alongside homemade fudge and freshly baked desserts. Plus, they also have available the ice cream trailer for 90-degree weather like it was today. That ice cream trailer sure is going to be a treat because, man, it's hot today. But there is going to be a lot of rain tomorrow, so do be aware of that. 90% chance of rain in the North Platte area tomorrow. You rarely see that on the National Weather Service. This is a 90 to 100% chance of rain is kind of like the spot off. Normally that never happens, so that must mean some bad things are coming. So please be aware of the weather coming into tomorrow's region. You most likely might hear me on the air tomorrow as well doing that, so just be aware of that. But just because it rains don't mean it's going to stop you from getting that ice cream trailer from Double Dips Ice Creamery. Let's jump into our starting lineups. We'll start on the home side for Kearney to lead this game off. Garrison Burns on over at shortstop. He will be hitting number 1 in the 1 hole with Carter Lee at second. He is the 2-hole hitter. Nolan Smith on over at third base. Bryce Anderson, the 4-hole hitter. He's going to be pitching today. He's also the DH whenever he gets out. Caleb Larson at third base in the 5-hole. Jace Blattner in left field, the 6-hole hitter. Jacob Hansen in right field. He'll be hitting in the 7-hole. Quinn Foster out in center field. He is the 8-hole hitter. And then, of course, Cole Throckmorton, the 9-hole hitter. He is catching today for Kearney Runza. Then on the side, of course, your FNBO. Well, I can't say your FNBO Nationals because collectively it's our FNBO Nationals. Caden Johnson again leading off here. Again, some more lineup changes for head coach Ricky Holmes. Jackson Polk in the 2-hole here today. Carter Kelly in the 3-hole where he's basically been all season long in third base. Carson Johnson, who's on the mound today, he'll be batting in the 4-hole slot in today's game. I like Carson Johnson hitting in the 4-hole a lot more than I like him hitting second, to be quite honest. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe that's why I'm not a baseball coach, but we shall see. Tristan Byer will be pitching once again. Here's the 5-hole hitter. Andrew Broch is up to number 6 in the batting order in left field. Ty Robinson at first base. He is a 7-hole hitter with Reese Morkey at second base. And then, of course, Blaze Zeiler will be rounding out the starting lineup here for the FNBO Nationals as the right fielder in the 9-hole position for your squad. It's going to be interesting to see. Of course, the Nationals did defeat Kearney Runza earlier this season on May 23rd. I know, gosh, we're almost to the start of July. It feels like May 23rd was a long time ago. Defeated them 8-7. That's actually game number 3, if you guys can remember off the top of your head. Good job if you did remember that. 8-7 was the Nationals' victory. Gave up 5 runs in the top of the first inning, and it was looking pretty bad for the Nationals right then and there. But, hey, 2 more runs came across for the Nationals in the second, 1 in the third, and then an explosion of 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning got the Nationals the lead, which from that point on, they just were able to hold on. Only allowing 1 run in the top of the 7th to eke out an 8-7 victory over Kearney Runza in that ball game. And now we're going to get into the national anthems. With that, I'm going to step aside and I'm going to take a real quick break. When I come back, it is time for the ball game here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming for Post.com.
Now the weather is warmer, it's time to dust off your golf clubs and head out to River's Edge Golf Club in North Platte with beautifully maintained lush greens and breathtaking views. River's Edge offers a modern course that is perfect for golfers of all skill levels. But that's not all. After your game, swing into another round sports bar for some amazing food and drinks. You'll find something for everyone on their menu, from juicy burgers to crisp salads and refreshing drinks. River's Edge is open to the public, so anyone can come and enjoy the fun.
CT Computer Services of North Platte has laptops for under $300 now in stock. If your computer is running slow, it probably needs a tune-up. Take it to CT Computer Services. The basic tune-up price is only $50 and save more on Tune-Up Tuesdays. CT Computer Services sells both new and refurbished desktops and laptops, and they have laptops for under $300 in stock now. CT
Kearney runs in some baseball action as we get ready to rock and we get ready to rumble here in today's ball game. Of course, as always, is feels like we're finally getting things underway as I accidentally closed all of my stuff out, and of course, hopefully that fixes all of our audio issues that have been plaguing us earlier. Thank you for everyone who has commented on that front. Hopefully, again, that does fix our issues. If it doesn't, again, keep commenting. I do love to see your comments, though. It really does put a smile on my face to see everybody that is able to comment in these games. If it doesn't, do let me know, and I will make sure I get those fixed here in today's game. As Caden Johnson is up to bat here to start this game off for the FNBO Nationals here in today's game. As the first pitch inside, 2-1, Caden Johnson's going to be in there. Strike number one again from the side of the pitching of Bryce Anderson. Make that now ball one. It's a 1-1 count into this pitcher here in today's ball game. As we get in here, thank you to our sponsors as always, Midwest State TV, Farmers and Rangers. Now, of course, the time is that's rocketed on over to second base. Carter Lee throws to first, and he just barely gets it in time there for the first out of this inning as down goes Caden Johnson on the ground out. Bring up Jack Polk. Farmers and Rangers, now's the time to get your ATVs and UTVs serviced with Midwest Cycle and ATV. Also, thank you to our top of the inning sponsor, Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can check out his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As that first pitch in from Bryce Anderson is there for strike number one. It's a 0-1 count. Oh, and 1 is the count now, and here comes that set pitch. Swung on, and that's driven down the left field side, foul. So we're now down to a 0-2 count here in today's ballgame. If you're in the first inning. The next pitch is outside for ball number one. It's 1-2. Now the count here for the side of Jack Polk, who's in here starting lineup. And the number 2 hole hitter, and there's strike number 3 as Anderson just blows right past him with the fastball for out number 2. So there's nobody on for Carter Kelly now to come up and see what kind of action he can do in this ball game. As he now gets set to rock and roll. As Bryce Anderson fires. High up in the zone there. Ball number 1. So it's now a 1-0 count. In this ball game. 1-0. Once more, just a smidge outside. It's ball 2. It's a 2-0 count now into Carter Kelly. As Anderson looking to fire away. Here comes that 2-0 pitch. Oh, that's just around the knees there. Strike number 1. It's 2-1. So 2-1 the count. Two and one with 2 down here, nobody on. That next pitch, once more down around the knees, but ball number 3. It's a 3-1 count into Carter Kelly. 3-1 with 2 down. As Bryce Anderson's looking for bounce back strike here. Pitch high up there, ball 4, and with that, Carter Kelly walks his way on over to first base. So it's 1 out, 1 runner on for Carson Johnson, and this is really where I think head coach Ricky Holmes was looking maybe for one more batter to get on with this alignment of Carson Johnson being in the 4 hole today. Kelly in first. Check swing, but that's down low, ball number 1. So Again, Carter Kelly at first following the walk from Bryce Anderson, who got 2 straight strikeouts to start this ball game off. He'll deliver. Whoa, way outside. There's ball number 2. It's a 2-0 count now into Carson Johnson here in this game. As Carter Kelly once again at first, left-handed pitcher Bryce Anderson probably won't be expecting Kelly to jump, as that 2-0 is now looped on into left field for a base hit, and that's exactly what the Nationals were looking for with Carson Johnson at the plate. He loops one into left for a base hit. And now Tristan Byer will come up to bat. Byer as we got Johnson on over at first, Carter Kelly on over at second base. The pitch. Oh, that's going to bounce right off the foot there of Tristan Byer. And Raggy. Shaggy. Raggy. There's the bases loaded now here for the FNBO Nationals, as Bryce Anderson struggling to get anything going, as we're going to have it looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner, but we're not, as Byer going to stay on over, was going to stay on over at first, but now here comes that substitute courtesy runner for the Nationals. It looks like, who's that going to be? That's going to be a name I'd say a name we don't really see too often here. It's going to be Cole Jones, who will be the courtesy runner here for the Nationals on over at first. As up to bat, here comes Andrew Brocious. Brocious takes that first pitch in for strike number 1. Again, if you remember a couple weeks ago before I took off, Brocious was having himself quite a stand of games where he was just on a roll, getting multiple hit games, sometimes even going a perfect 3 for 3 or 4 for 4 in games. He has the bases loaded against Bryce Anderson. The 1-1. Swung on a little looper on over to third, and an easy step onto third base, and that's how that inning will come to an end. The Nationals did have runners in scoring position with the bases loaded, but couldn't get anything across from it. We're tied at 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the first when we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
For fun conversations and amazing pizza, come to Dave's Place. Dave's Place on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Dave's Place is a great summertime place with their incredible fresh pizza of the month, wings, specials on beer, and cocktails.
And Dave's Place is kid-friendly, so bring them in for a fun time this summer.
Dine in, carry out, or DoorDash. Dave's Place is a North Platte tradition at 1510 East 4th Street.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair Dino Pay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Quick Stop.
Welcome back here, everybody, to Memorial Field. The Nationals currently at the moment tied here with Kearney. Runs 0-0. No runs on, 1 hit for the Nationals is now due up in the bottom half of the Kearney first. It's going to be one Garrison Burns leading off against Carson Johnson, who's getting the start. And been seeing a lot more of Carson Johnson getting the starts in these ball games, which is always good to see because it just really flexes the rotation for the Nationals, and it's just nice to see lots of different players getting lots of different reps at different positions. And also, it's just a credit to how strong this team is depth-wise at those infield, outfield positions, that someone like Carson Johnson, who has been a staple at second base all season long, can, I wouldn't say take a break, but can kind of get some innings to work on his pitching game as, again, we get closer and closer to district play. As we're going to have first up here for the side of Kearney Runza, it's going to be Garrison Burns. Again, our bottom of the first innings brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can see Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, alongside Clear Focus Eye Care. I'm going to go there to get my glasses and eyes checked. Specializing in preventative eye care, dry eye treatment, and vision therapy. You can schedule your appointment here today as Johnson will step into his motion against one Garrison Burns, and that first pitch down in the turf. That's right, the turf. Ball number one. This is one of the more unique baseball fields you'll see, where it's half turf, half normal grass, turf infield, all the way up till maybe a couple of feet behind where normal dirt would be, and then it transitions into grass as that first pitch from Carson Johnson's there for strike number one. It's 1-1 count, and I like this more than in terms of the normal turf field where it goes straight into dirt straight into grass immediately where the dirt would be. You get a little bit of more leeway before the transitions. We all remember Jack Polk twisted his ankle going from, of course, grass to dirt at home in Billwood Field as the 1-2. High up there. It's ball two. 2-2 the count now. As got a little rusty, I know. I just got to take that down. 2-2 the count. Nobody out here with Garrison Burns up to bat against Carson Johnson, who's looking for his first strikeout here in today's game. Said 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled down the third base side, and we'll still stay at 2-2 the count. I like this more because, again, it gives you a little bit more play in terms of how far it can go into the outfield before it transitions, really limiting those ankle injuries when it comes to the transition between dirt and turf or turf and grass. 2-2. Ooh, that's tight inside, but it's not going to hit Garrison Burns. It's now 3-2 the count. Though, again, would rather prefer an all turfed field instead of turf, grass, grass, turf. Because it just plays so differently. The 3-2 pitch from Johnson. Todd's high up there in the zone, ball four. And with that, Garrison Burns is going to walk his way on over to first with the walk. And now one runner on for Kearney. If you're all getting flashback to May 23rd when the Nationals in the third game of the season took on Kearney, they gave up 5 runs in the first inning. I believe it was Tristan Byer who was the pitcher on the mound for the Nationals in that game. Unfortunately, gave up those 5 runs. Johnson trying to avoid that same fate here today, though, has a runner at first, being, again, Garrison Burns. The pitch at off speed is off the mark. There for ball number one as Carter Kelly was stepping up. He's now into the infield grass. Expecting a bunt from Carter Lee. It's a 1-0 count from Johnson. As he sets and he fires away. Runner thought about going. Another pitch, but that time just barely sneaks in on the outside part of the plate. It's a 1-1 count now to Lee, the second baseman. Following Carter Lee, Nolan Smith, and then the pitcher, Bryce Anderson. Garrison Burns on at first following the walk to lead off this bottom of the first inning, which is a 0-0 ball game. Johnson into the motion now, will fire away. That one popped up, and that's going to fly foul right behind me for strike number 2. It's a 1-2 count now into Carter Lee. And this Kearney squad hovering around 500 all season. Not the kind of Kearney squad we've come accustomed to in terms of the win column. Still, though, dangerous on the mound as always. 1-2. Driven on out to the gap in right center. And it's going to be gloved up there by Blaze Zeiler. For out number 1, a little bit of a close call out in right where Johnson was barreling in on that ball as well as Zeiler, and they almost collided, but Zyler grabs it, and with that, there's one down in this inning to now bring up Nolan Smith to bat. So I talked about this. This is a very, I wouldn't say hitters-friendly park, but man, when it gets into the outfield, that ball just dies in type of the wind. It just, I don't know, it just has some sort of weird magic at this field where no matter how hard you hit it out, it just seems to lose all of its momentum and just dies down for an easy out. But with the speed, the Nationals do have some more defensive help, specifically in the right field side, where it's been kind of an issue for them as that first pitch into the side of Nolan Smith is there. Ball one and a pickoff attempt from Johnson gets Garrison Burns back. It's going to be a really great catching matchup. I already highlighted, of course, Cole Throckmorton being a thorn in the side for the Nationals in their first game, and of course Tristan Byer just being just as potent behind the plate. As that next pitch from Johnson going to bounce a little bit outside off of Tristan Byer. He's able to glove it to stop Garrison Burns from moving. It's 2-0 now the count to the side of Nolan Smith. Burns again still at first, one down here in the bottom of the first inning, tied 0-0. One hit already been displayed by the Nationals here in today's game as Johnson with his 2-0. Swing and a miss to Nolan Smith, 2-1 the count now. Still one down. Again, Nationals having probably their best season in quite some time under head coach Ricky Holmes. Really displaying a lot of prowess on the defensive side as well as the hitting side. 2-1 the count. Johnson likes his sign and fires. Another swing and a miss, this time a little half-heartedly on the side of Nolan Smith, but that's going to be there for strike number 2. It's 2-2 the count. Johnson's pitch was low in the turf, but Jones still swung on it, so now Johnson looking for his first strikeout in today's ball game. He'll take a quick glance at first to Garrison Burns. Here comes that 2-2 pitch from one Carson Johnson. On the way, there goes the runner, down low, and Byer can't hold on to it. When he's trying to transition, it just squirts away, and with that, 3-2 is the count, and easily on over to second with the steal is going to be the side of Garrison Burns. His first stolen base of today's game, and now a runner in scoring position for Kearney. And a 3-2 count. One down, though, so Johnson looking for the second out of this inning to really alleviate some of the pressure Kearney's putting on. The 3-2. Outside down low, and there's ball 4, the second walk of today's game. And with that on over goes Nolan Smith, and now we have a situation of a double steal for Kearney, with Burns at second, Smith at first, and still one out to play with. I could see a maybe sacrifice bunt from Anderson to move both runners up a pad and put 2 runners in scoring position. As Carson Johnson now with the task of trying to find that elusive second out. Double play, though, opportunity on the mound, or on the plate specifically, no pun intended. That first pitch from Johnson in there. Strike number 1. Again, there's a force out at third, second, and first, so the double play is still alive and well for the Nationals. Following Anderson, Caleb Larson, then Jace Blattner for Runza. As the pitch 0-1 is high, there's ball 1 of this count. 1-1 the count, one down here. 2 runners on the base paths for Kearney, both drawn on walks. Garrison Burns at second and Nolan Smith at first. 0-0 is your score. Johnson, another glance at second for Burns. He now will deliver the 1-1. That one absolutely smothered. It's going out to right field, and it is going to fall out of the park, but it is foul. I mean, oh my good heavens. Lucky opportunity there for the Nationals, as that one was absolutely launched to the right field side. It would have been a no-doubter if it stayed fair, but it went foul. It's a 1-2 count. Off speed from Johnson, left in the zone. Anderson turned on it and almost gave Kearney their first lead. Now the 1-2, once more turned on, but that's fouled off the bat of Anderson there, so we'll still stay at 1-2 the count. One and two with one out. 2 runners on the base pads. One in scoring position at second being Burns. So Johnson, though, steps off to take a breather. Anderson displayed the power 2 pitches ago where he almost hit one out of the park. So Johnson might want to be playing a little more safe with these pitches in his mind. The 1-2. I say that slow roller that's going to go on over to Polk, who can't glove it, to Morkey at second, and he gets the easy out there. So an infield single on the side of Bryce Anderson. That's going to, of course, be a fielder's choice as Polk couldn't really flip it quickly to Morkey at second so he could turn on it. But even with that, one out at the second out of this inning for the Nationals here. And Caleb Larson's up to bat with the runner in scoring position, Garrison Burns at third base. Kearney could get their first run here as he swings and he misses for strike number 1 for Larson. Anderson, the pitcher, at first, and Burns in scoring position just a couple feet away at third base, though 2 down here in this bottom of the first inning for the Nationals. It's Carterson Johnson looking to get out of here unscathed. That's tight inside and low, but too low. It's ball number 1, a 1-1 count. Following one, Caleb Larson, Jace Blattner, and then Jacob Hansen for Kearney. Johnson already up to 24 pitches here in the first inning as he glances at third and delivers. Swing and a miss there by Larson. Another pitch in the dirt. But Larson swung anyway. 1-2 the count now. Again, normally see Johnson in more of a closing role, so it doesn't really see too many innings. We'll see how far he goes here today. Already up to, again, 25 pitches now. The 1-2 count from Carson Johnson. Tight inside, and it's there for strike number 3. The first strikeout of this ball game for Carson Johnson, and it comes at a better time as he ends this bottom of the first inning with 2 runners left on the base pads for the side of Kearney. It's 0-0 as we now head to the top of the second inning. Nationals looking to again put the pressure on like they did in the first inning, and maybe this time convert it into a run when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Special events, whether it be a wedding, concert, sporting event, convention, or anything else, the DNN Event Center can handle it all. The DNN Event Center is the biggest event center in North Platte. This building is perfectly suited for anything from small gatherings to major events. Rent just one small room or book the entire facility. The choices are endless at the DNN Event Center, your home for exciting events, special moments, and precious memories. Call today to make your reservation at 534-0255.
With a whole lot of things being so expensive these days, you'll be surprised to know you can buy an RV for under $20,000. The Sunray Travel Trailers at Larry's RV in North Platte. Sunrays give you the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors while still enjoying some home comforts like AC, water, heater, refrigerator, and stovetops. Just some of the features you'll find in a Sunray. Plus, Sunrays are lightweight and most can even be pulled with a car. Stop in today and see the Sunray 129 and 149 models and the Sunray Light 16 HP at Larry's RV in North Platte.
Welcome back here to Memorial Field. Nationals currently at the moment tied up here with Kearney. Runs 0-0. That's no runs on 1 hit for the Nationals. No runs on no hits, no errors for side of Kearney. Runs again, the Nationals also with no errors. Our top of the second brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Alongside also, thank you to our sponsors here for today's game, Premier Toyota, just south of I-80. They invite you to stop out and take a test drive here today. Premier Toyota, let's go places. It's currently a 2-0 count now into one. Ty Robinson, who's up to bat here in the top of the second inning against Bryce Anderson. Already in a favorable count, again, 2-0. Well, we'll just make that now 2-1. Me and my big mouth had to speak it into existence. It's now a 2-1 count into Robinson again, playing first base, the natural position that he's been playing all season long. 2-1. Swung on, and that's popped up back to my car. Oh, it didn't hit my car, though. I didn't hear anything, so it's 2-2 the area. Please, Ty, I know we're good buddies over there, but don't get too close to my vehicle. 2-2 the count with nobody out, nobody on in the top of the second inning. It's a 0-0 game. Anderson delivers. Turned on, slow roller, going to get through the glove of one Caleb Larson at third base, and Just like that, the Nationals will get a runner to lead off here in this top of the second inning as Robinson reaches on an error through the third baseman's glove of Caleb Larson, and now Race Morkey will come up to bat. Morkey moved to the 8-hole hitter here with Blaze Zeiler on deck, and then Caden Johnson in the hole. Not going to see much stealing here early on with the left-handed pitcher Anderson on the mound as he now finds his zone once again. It's strike number 1 to Morkey. Again, this half of the order not really expecting too many runs to be moved via stolen bases. Robinson not known for his blazing speed. The 0-1 is high, and it's 1-1 the count now. And of course, with Throckmorton behind home plate, I don't even think head coach Ricky Holmes might test it tonight. I doubt. I think the only person who might be able to test the arm strength of Cole Throckmorton might be Blaze Zeiler. The 1-1. Oh, there goes Ty Robinson, and that's going to be fouled off the bat of Race Morkey. Of course, I just talked about how I'm not going to be seeing much of it, but I do like that attempt as Robinson already running and Morkey swinging, at least getting contact on it is really positive, and that's kind of what he's been trying to preach, head coach Ricky Holmes has. There's been many instances where the batter really just doesn't swing, and it leaves the runner kind of vulnerable to get picked off or easily thrown out at second. That time Morkey gets some contact, just not falling his way. 1-2 the count now from Bryce Anderson to one Race Morkey. Robinson at first base, nobody out. As Anderson gets the sign from Throckmorton and delivers. It's outside. That's ball number 2. It's, whoopsie, that's the wrong button. 2-2 the count now. Again, following Morkey, Blaze Zeiler. Then back to the top of the order of 1, Caden Johnson and Jack Polk. Anderson delivers his 2-2. Swung on and missed by Race Morkey. There's another strikeout there for the side of Bryce Anderson for house number 1. As here comes Blaze Zeiler up to bat. Head coach Ricky Holmes going to have a word with him again. Zeiler broke his hand early in the season and hasn't been really seeing much action until recently, where took some runs a few weeks ago and is now up to hit for the Nationals here as Robinson at first base. He's a huge asset on the base pads if he can get there with that. Again, no pun intended. Blazing speed. As he looks to lay the beautiful bunt down. There he goes. The Blaze Zeiler will get there to first in time as it gets past the first baseman, Nolan Smith. And they're going to wave Ty Robinson home. Here comes the big man. He kind of hesitated. Robinson, 8. Going to get there in time. And now head coach Ricky Holmes might have a talk with home plate umpire, maybe, possibly, as that single then moves Zeiler on over to third with the speed, but just barely Robinson couldn't get home. He kind of hesitated when he was going on over home, and I think that little bit of hesitation caused him to, unfortunately get tagged out at home as Caden Johnson's up to bat. That first pitch high, ball number 1. That is just so unlucky. As the Nationals had an opportunity to maybe bring not 1 but 2 runs home this inning, but Robinson gets tagged out coming home on the bunt from Zeiler, but Zeiler's now at third base. He used that speed to his advantage and got all the way to third, so we're back in an opportunity for the Nationals to score with 2 down here and a 2-0 count to Johnson, who swings and pops it up on over to the shallow right field, drifting, and nobody's going to get there. Lucky for the Nationals as Nolan Smith and Jacob Hansen were there in territory to grab it, but lost it in the sun, so a lucky opportunity for the Nationals to not end this inning with yet again another runner in scoring position. Johnson up to bat. It's a 2-1 count, though, so still got some work and some strikes to play with against one Bryce Anderson. Though 2 down here in this top of the second inning. Zeiler on over at third base. He did, again, steal home last year for the Nationals, as you heard in our intro. The 2-1 from Anderson. Johnson lays down a bunt, but it's going to be fouled off. So now it's 2-2 count, so Anderson's worked it back to a favorable 2-2 count for him. Will be interesting to see, will we get a Blaze Zeiler home plate steal? Haven't seen an attempt since early in the season from the Nationals. We all know Zeiler's got that, I hate to keep saying it, but blazing speed. I'm so sorry. The puns are bad. The 2-2 count in, though, from Bryce Anderson as he shakes off a couple signs from Throckmorton. He delivers. Turned on the gap in left center. Will it get down? No, it will not. It'll fall into the center fielder Quinn Foster's glove, and that is how this inning will come to an end for the Nationals. Another opportunity to get a run across, but they just couldn't convert as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Still tied here, 0-0 when we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
It's not too late to register your students for the fall 2023 Bullpup Preschool or Kindergarten year at North Platte Public Schools. We are excited to assist you at the Welcome Center located at 301 West F Street in North Platte, and we are open from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Or you can register from the comfort of your own home online at mppsd.org. Come learn and grow with us at North Platte Public Schools.
Hey, at Premier Toyota, you'll find a friendly and easy-to-work with staff that'll help you find the perfect car. And whether you're looking for something new or pre-owned, Premier Toyota's got a wide selection of vehicles to choose from.
Plus, Premier Toyota has Toyota-trained technicians, so you know you're always getting the very best in service and repairs. Schedule your service and factory-scheduled maintenance today and keep your car running strong.
Stop by today and see why Premier Toyota is the #1 choice for car buyers. Let's go places.
Welcome back here to FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, live streaming NorthPlattePost.com. It's currently a tied ball game here at Memorial Field, 0-0. No runs on, 1 hit, no errors for the FNBO Nationals, compared to no runs on, no hits, and 1 error on the side of Kearney Runza. Up to bat now for Kearney, Jace Blattner against one Carson Johnson, who's still on the mound for the Nationals here. Want a big shout out to our sponsor, our bottom of the second inning sponsor, Kevin McGann, and the Fortify Group. He's been helping Nebraska families, farmers, and businesses for more than 50 years. Stop and see Kevin McGann at 621 South Dewey, Suite B in North Platte. As Johnson with the 1-0 pitch into Blattner, we'll make that a 1-1 count as he finds the strike zone. 1-1 now. Also, thank you to our sponsor today, Dave's Place Pizza and Wings. Man, some wings do sound some good right now. You can find out more on 1510 East 4th Street, lifted out into left field as there to get it, though, is Andrew Barocious for out number 1. Again, I talked about how that ball, once it gets into the outfield, really likes to drift and stay afloat long enough for the batters, for the outfielders to collect an easy pop-up, and just like that, showed off right there. It's now 1 down here in this bottom of the second inning. For Jacob Hansen, the right fielder, now to take his swings for the first time in today's ballgame against Carson Johnson. Quinn Foster on deck and Cole Throckmorton in the hole for Kearney Runza. As Johnson fires. Ooh, that fastball way in front of the turf. There for not strike number 1. Ball number 1. Some of the things with Carson Johnson, we know he has a really strong fastball in terms of overall speed, but when he really tries to put all his might into it, it kind of loses its control. As you saw right there in that next off speed, just finding the zone around the knees to the inside part. 1-1 the count. One out here in the bottom of the second. 0-0 the score between these two teams, Kearney and North Platte. Next pitch, high around the letters, but outside. That's ball number 2. Don't want to talk about makeup pitches, but that might have been a makeup pitch. The one inside I thought missed, and now that pitch outside misses. 2-1. Swung on, chopper on over to Polk. At short, he gloves it. The throw to first is in time, and no need for makeup pitches when the defense once again flexes its muscle, and an easy ground out for the Nationals. With Quinn Foster now up to bat for his first time and 2 down in this bottom of the second inning. Nationals really churning through the batters this time about with Carson Johnson. It's already a quick 2 up, 2 down here. Throckmorton on deck, and then we'll go back to the top of the order with Garrison Burns if we get there. As Johnson gets the sign from Tristan Byer and into his motion delivers. Ooh, that pitch tight and high up. It's ball number 1 to Foster. Third baseman again. Foster got called for the error as he missed an easy grounder to the third last inning. Wants to make up for it here. The 1-0 turned on, and it's going to find the gap on over in right field as it falls down for a 2-out single. Again, a little bit of a shift for the Nationals. Had a lot of people pulling on over to the third base side, and because of that, a nice easy turn from Quinn Foster allows him to get on with 2 down to bring up said Cole Throckmorton. First hit of the game for Kearney today. Both teams have collected 1 hit, and both of them left many stranded on the base paths early. As Johnson's fastball bounces way in front of Tristan Byer, but not far enough to move the runner, Foster, at first. Now here comes head coach Ricky Holmes to have a talk with his pitcher. Again, talked about how, in terms of overall velocity of pitches, Carson Johnson does have probably, if not the best miles per hour radar when it comes to his fastball, but when he really puts all of his might into it, it really loses control and normally tends to end up short of the plate. As we've seen so far a couple of times today when he's gone to that full force fastball. So it's a 1-0 count. I probably believe that's what head coach Ricky Holmes was out to talk to him about. Just tell him to, pull it back a little bit. You've done a good job so far today in terms of your overall control. No need to really blow the doors past somebody. An easy grounder will do it. The 1-0 count for one Carson Johnson. That's now a little too high. It's ball 2. 2-0 the count. Up next, Garrison Burns with Carter Lee in the hole for Kearney Runza. They have a runner on. Quinn Foster at first base. 2-0 count. Foster collecting the first hit of the game for Kearney. There goes the steal. Tight inside. They throw to second, not in time as Foster easily steals second. And now we have a runner in scoring position and a 3-0 count to now Cole Throckmorton. Throckmorton, a pain in the side of the defensive end, would not like it if he would be a pain in the side of the offensive end for the Nationals today, as that 3-0 now turns into a 3-1 with a really strong bounce-back pitch from Carson Johnson. Yeah, with 2 down, just an easy grounder or pop-out will end the inning and stop the scoring opportunity for Kearney, as both sides of back-to-back innings really showed, they could put some runners on, even if they've only collected 1 hit. As that pitch is too low, ball 4, and with that, Throckmorton will stroll on over to first with a 2-out walk. So 2 runners are now on for Garrison Burns, and we're going to have a courtesy runner coming on here for the side of Kearney. For Throckmorton, that's going to be Rhett Mundorf for Kearney Runza. And wouldn't be surprised if we see the double steal here with Garrison Burns up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance, led off that bottom of the first inning for Kearney with that walk. So has 2 runners on. Quinn Foster at second, and now Rhett Mundorf, who's subbing in for Throckmorton on the courtesy run, at first. Johnson glances at second twice and delivers. Tight inside and high. There's ball number 1. Want to know the count now. No action in either bullpen early on in this ball game, so still sticking with these 2 pitchers for some time. Again, the Nationals have 1 day off before they head to Cheyenne on Friday for another tournament. The 1-0. Check swing, but doesn't matter. It's in there. Strike number 1. It's a 1-1 count to Burns with 2 down. Just really back to back. Weekends of amazing tournaments. The Nationals would love to maybe put a better foot forward in the Cheyenne one. The 1-1 turned on, driven to left field. Brocious going to go out a little bit and get under it and glove it for an easy out number 3. The runner was in scoring position for Kearney, but another nice easy pop-up and out leads to the end of this inning. We head to the top of the 3rd when we come back. Nationals at the moment tied with Kearney Runza. 0-0 when we come back.
If your tranny starts to making sounds that you don't want to hear, if it's slipping and a sliding, won't go in or out of gear, call the transmission specialist, BG&S. You've got the very best 4-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, automatic standard 2. BG&S transmissions.
BG&S Transmissions. Free towing, free estimates, and all their work is guaranteed. Call BG&S in North Platte at 800-344-2427.
This is Kurt Carter with Red Willow Chemical. Red Willow Chemical is your one-stop shop for all your crop protection needs. We sell and support products from top manufacturers like Bayer, BASF, Syngenta, Corteva, and FMC. Call me today, 308-340-7751. Visit us online at rwchemical.com to check out all your options and make sure you're getting the right products to optimize yield.
Growing relationships, one crop at a time. Red Willow Chemical.
Welcome back, everybody, here to Memorial Field. Nationals at the moment tied with Kearney. Runza 0-0. No runs on one hit for the Nationals. No errors. No runs on one hit and one error for Kearney. Runza with Jack Polk up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance against Bryce Anderson as that pitch inside just barely finds the zone in the bottom corner. Strike number one. Our top of the third is brought to you, of course, by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann, the Fortifying Group, at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. As Polk swings and misses on that pitch for, strike number one. It's a 1-1 count now to Jack Polk, as Bryce Anderson hits Polk right in the thigh, and with that, he'll walk on over to first. That's the second hit by a pitch Nationals player today, as Tristan Byer took one off the foot, Polk one takes one off the hip, and now there's a runner on for Carter Kelly to come up to bat. Also, thank you to our partners today, Pete Bowles and Brett Rogo, the Shelter Insurance guys. Go see them for auto, home life, and more. It's Shelter Insurance. Excuse me, I had a little cough there. The infield umpire went to go check to see if Polk was good, and he is good, so now we get underway with Carter Kelly up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance, so bases again were loaded in the top of the first, but Nationals couldn't get anything across as that pitch just skirts outside. Skirt, ball one. Want to know the count? Nobody out. Jack Polk at first, not really expecting him to attempt to steal with Throckmorton again behind home plate unless he gets a magnificent jump. Also doesn't help that Anderson's a lefty, and now there's a pickoff attempt. That's really been, besides, maybe some troubles in right field in terms of the speed, the left-handed pitching the Nationals have seen this season have caused them so many fits. There's a stretch of weeks, prior to the Lincoln tournament and maybe even the Omaha tournament where they were just getting absolutely decimated by left-handed pitchers on the steals and on the base pads. It really was a thorn in their sides, and hopefully head coach Ricky Holmes and this squad have remedied that situation so that they can get back to the old aggressive ways. 1-0 count still as Polk got picked off twice, but made it back safely. Kelly turns on it, and it's though going to go foul down the right field side for strike number one. And that's kind of the thing, again, with this ballpark. Power hitters like Carter Kelly and Bryce Anderson, with how short it is in the outfield, 377 the farthest it goes, 325 at the corners. If it just gets a little bit of a whiff of power, it's out of here. And picks up a nice drift. A 1-1 count. There goes Jack Polk. Really nice jump. The throw from Throckmorton. Not going to get there. Gets into center field. With that, Polk's going to make his way on over to third, and he gets there. Talking about the only way that the Nationals can get a steal is if they get an absolute monster jump, and just like that, Jack Polk did, and he got a little bit extra as he now makes his way over to third base, following the passed up ball to second. So now a runner in scoring position with nobody out for the Nationals, really, and another great spot here. 1-2 to Carter Kelly. Popped it up. Oh, but sky high to the infield, so Polk might not be able to go. Drifts on over to Carter Lee, and he gets there to glove it for out number one. Like what I thought about from Carter Kelly as he tried to really reach one to fly it into the outfield, but because he had to go up so high to hit it, it just popped up to the infield, and there's one down now. It's top of the third inning. So now here comes Carson Johnson. He singled in his first plate appearance. Helped load the bases for the Nationals, and if he singles again, he'll most certainly bring the first run home with Polk at third base. As Bryce Anderson, Polk thought about it, and that's a balk. They call the balk on Bryce Anderson. Wonderful job from Jack Polk. He showed that he was going to steal maybe home, and because of that, Anderson already got into his motion and pulled back, and with that, Polk makes his way back home on the balk. And with that, it's now a 1-0 lead for the Nationals here, with Carson Johnson up to bat and 1 down. That pitch sneaks into the zone for strike number 1 on the outside part. Just beautifully well done. Polk, again, left-handed pitcher really opens up the opportunity for a home plate steal. Anderson caught himself seeing Polk going, but when Polk stopped, he was already in his motion and gets called for the balk as Johnson loops another one in the left field for a base hit. Will he go for 2? He steps on the bag. He's going for it with the speed. Does he get there in time? He does. So the slight, small little looper into left field turns into a double from Carson Johnson, and the Nationals once again are in scoring position. They're in business now, folks. Johnson picks up the second hit for him today and the second hit for the Nationals. And now he's in scoring position to bring up Tristan Byer, who was hit by a pitch on his foot in his first at-bat, as the speedster Carson Johnson at second. As Anderson wavering a little bit here. Glances at second and delivers. Ooh, that's tight inside, but finds the zone, strike number 1. Following Byer, Andrew Brocious, then Ty Robinson. Robinson, of course, led off the inning on the top of the second. He'll be back up to bat here shortly. Anderson delivers. Runner goes, driven on out to the left field. It's a high flyer. Back at it goes Blattner, and he gloves it for out number 2. Good hit from Byer in terms of power. Just couldn't get all of it in it. And there's out number 2. Johnson got a really nasty jump at second. That would have easily brought him home if it fell for a single. But with 2 down, that brings up now Andrew Brocious. He grounded out to Garrison Burns at short in his last plate appearance to end the inning when he last came afloat. Would love to turn it around here and get one into the outfield to bring Carson Johnson home and have the Nationals jump out to a 2-0 lead. Currently 1-0. As Anderson steps off, but Johnson gets back. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the FNBO Nationals. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error on the side of Kearney Runza. And Johnson at second. Anderson delivers to Brocious. He checked his swing, and that's, though, below the knees. Ball number 1, that was mighty close. For 1, Andrew Brocious. Again, Brocious has been really, really strong in these positions when he just needs a single. Had many games earlier in the year where he went a perfect 4 for 4, 3 for 3, or at least picked up 2 or more hits. The 1-0 for Anderson. Turned on by Brocious. Little copper on over to the third baseman, over to first in time. And just like that, this inning comes to an end. 1 run did come across on the balk, so the Nationals now lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning here. Yeah, Nationals lead 1-0. We come back. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Are you or a loved one in need of medical equipment to improve your quality of life? Look no further than Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment. Our state-of-the-art and affordable medical products are specifically designed to return your independence. From manual and power wheelchairs, mobility scooters, and lift chairs to walking aids, ramps, hospital beds, and bath safety products. We have everything you need to make your home a comfortable and safe place to live. We even provide CPAP and BiPAP equipment and supplies, as well as oxygen equipment and supplies. Call Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment today.
Check out Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger. Whew, that's a tongue twister. Say that 5 times fast.
Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger. Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger.
Yeah. No, I didn't actually.
Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger.
Try Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger with barbecue sauce, jalapenos, bacon, pepper jack cheese, and crispy onion strips.
Runza's Spicy Barbecue Bacon Burger. Runza's
Because
Spicy Barbecue
from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Welcome back here to Memorial Field. Nationals at the moment leading 1-0 over Kearney Runza. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors on the side of the Nationals. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error on the side of Kearney Runza. Thank you again to our bottom of the third inning sponsor, Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, alongside Another Round / Rivers Edge Golf Course. Good times, great food, drinks and sports, Another Round Sports Bar at the Rivers Edge Golf Course. Come have another round with them. Up to bat here, Carter Lee for the side, of one Kearney Runza, as he gets ready to rock and roll here against Carson Johnson. So that first pitch in from Johnson to Lee is high, outside ball number 1. Carter Lee flew out to Blaze Zeiler in right field in his first plate appearance for the side of Kearney Runza. Wants to maybe turn it around here with a little bit of a different approach, as that pitch once more outside and in. Just barely, it's 1-1. Another 1-1. Popped up, drifting towards the left, but it's going to fall out of play and hit the top of the building. It's 1-2 the count now. For Carson Johnson's up to 47 pitches, 26 strikes, and 21 balls. Still no action in either bullpen, so we're going to continue with Anderson and Johnson past this inning. The 1-2. Turned on, drifting to left, but this time once more will fall out of play. Foul. Of course, with the Nationals, again, run a really different outfield style. They have their corner outfielders really pitching into center field. So there's a massive gap in both left and right along the warning track, as that one's blooped on over to Polk at short. Throw to first. It's not going to be in time, as Ty Robinson couldn't hold on to it. So with that hit, it's an infield single from the side of Carter Lee. And just like that, another first error of this ball game for the Nationals, as Carter Lee reaches on it. So up comes Nolan Smith with a runner in scoring position. Well, runner on is Carter Lee at first. So double play is in effect if Lee can't successfully steal the second. First error of the ballgame for the Nationals. Both teams have one error apiece as Johnson fires away. High, but in for strike number 1 to Nolan Smith, who walked in his first plate appearance for Kearney Runza. Following Smith, Bryce Anderson, and then Caleb Larson. For, again, the 14-13 Kearney Runza senior team. Not their best season. Nationals 21-13, having a super-duper strong year this year. From what I remember, talking to head coach Ricky Holmes, picked up 10 more games this year. So really able to not only play more games, but just get more experience. The 0-1, there goes one Carter Lee. Byer can't hold on to it. And with that, Carter Lee successfully steals second base. And just like that, a runner is in scoring position for Kearney Runza. Lee at second, which would tie the game. It's a 1-1 count into Nolan Smith, as Ty Robinson now playing the infield grass, expecting the bunt now with nobody out. Johnson's 1-1. Turned on, but rocketed foul down the third base side. So that's now a 1-2 count into the side of Nolan Smith. Again, talked about the Nationals really pinching the corner outfielders closer to center field, leaves a gap along the left field and right field line to maybe cause some damage if a ball gets there. 1-2. Carson Johnson looking for his second strikeout, sets and fires. It's in there! Strike number 3, and there's number 2 on the day for Carson Johnson in terms of strikeouts in the first out of this ballgame. As down goes Nolan Smith looking. 1 down and 1 runner on for Bryce Anderson. He reached on a fielder's choice. His first plate appearance almost hit that 3-run home run a couple pitches earlier in that at-bat, but luckily enough for the Nationals, that didn't happen. So we are here now with 1 down. Carter Lee at second for Anderson, the pitcher, to see if he can bring him home. That pitch is going to be outside. Ball number 1 from Johnson, his first attempt. Following Lee, Caleb Larson, then Jace Blattner for Kearney Runza. They're threatening to score and tie this game up with Lee on over at second base. A 1-0 count as Johnson fires. That's down in the turf. Bounced just a little bit off of Tristan Byer, but not far enough to move the runner at second. It's a 2-0 count now. It's going to be interesting to see when head coach Ricky Holmes is going to go to his bullpen, and who is he going to go to the bullpen with? It's kind of been the big question mark, in a good way, of who's going to come out of the bullpen for the Nationals, because they just are been able to throw so many arms out there. Yonkers, you see Johnson, of course, Carter Kelly, as that 2-0 now becomes 2-1. Or it could be, Race Morkey alongside Ty Robinson, Jack Polk, Caden Johnson, Landon Greeno. Brocious has gotten some pitching as well. Johnson's got some pitching. Everybody's gotten some pitching except Gazailer, but that's because he's been injured. 2-1. Turned on, slow roller. That's going to get into center field for a base hit. They're going to bring Carter Lee on home, I think. Nope, they're going to pull him back. Great throw from Johnson. But another single, that time from Bryce Anderson right up the middle for their second hit of today's ball game. Now puts runners at the corners with only one down for Caleb Larson. Now, the good news is Bryce Anderson at first base, not really a steal threat. The big man himself, not too quick in the top end, not too quick in the top and short end speed. So the double play opportunity is still alive for the Nationals to end this inning, but gets a little bit more difficult with Carter Lee on over at third. Caleb Larson, though, reached on a fielder's choice in his last plate appearance against Carson Johnson, where we received the first pitch around the letters for ball number 1. Been a little bit of a commonality today. The pitches around the letters not being called the way of either side. So it's a 1-0 count. Runners at the corners. A 1-0 lead for the Nationals as Johnson fires. Turned on, and just out of the reach of the diving Carter Kelly at third. And with that, an RBI single from Caleb Larson. And this game is now tied 1 apiece as Anderson makes his way on over to second. So now bring up to bat for the side of Kearney runs up Jace Blattner. It's now the third hit of the day today for Kearney Runza. And now a 1-1 ball game. Blattner flew out in his first plate appearance to Brocious in left field to end the inning last time he was up. Has 2 runners on, Anderson at second, and then Caleb Larson at first. He turns on one foul, though, on the third base side for strike number 1. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Nationals all tied, 1 apiece, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error for the FNBO Nationals, 1 run on 3 hits, 1 error for Kearney Runza. They do have 2 runners on the base paths at the moment. It's second and first, bottom of the third. Johnson fires, popped up, but it's going to fall foul just barely in front of me. And just like that, it's a 0-2 count into Jace Blattner. Following Blattner, it'll be Jacob Hansen and Quinn Foster, who's in the hole for Kearney Runza. 1-1 ball game. Wind was pushing to the right field side, is now basically at a standstill at the moment with a light breeze. 0-2 from Carson Johnson as he glances at second twice and delivers. Off speed is just too high. There's ball number 1. It's 1-2 the count into Blattner. Once again, Caleb Larson at first, Bryce Anderson, the pitcher, at second. Won't really expect a steal from Anderson. 1-2. Swing, but just barely foul off the bat. I just barely heard it of Blattner. Would have been a clear strikeout number 3 for Carson Johnson, but just barely Blattner got his bat on it. And now it's a 1-2 count with 1 down. Johnson takes a big deep breath to get the sign from Tristan Byer, his catcher. He'll glance at second, a long glance at second. The 1-2. Driven onto center field. Johnson's going to let that fall in for a base hit, and with that, the bases are now going to be loaded for Kearney Runza with still 1 down here to bring up to bat. Jacob Hansen, he grounded out in his first plate appearance, and now there's a force out at any bag for the Nationals here, which is good, but the bad news is, there's always a bad news, the bases are loaded. It's not what you like to see. 4th hit of the day today for Kearney Runza. Anderson at third, Larson at second, and then Jace Blattner at first as Johnson gets into his windup and delivers. That's a chopper on over to Polk, gloved by Kelly, who tripped and then can't be able to get any of the runners at any bag as he tripped trying to throw the ball to Robinson at first, and because of that, it's an infield single on the side of Jake Hansen, and just like that, for the first time today, Kearney Runza takes the lead. It's now 2-1, still with one out and more threatening to come across, with Quinn Foster up to bat, who singled out into right field. Dangerous situation for the Nationals as Johnson's pitch is high and outside, ball one. It's a 1-0 count. Nobody's still warming up in the bullpen for the FNBO Nationals, as Johnson's up to 65 pitches here in the bottom of the third inning, as he sets and delivers his 1-0 count into Foster. He turns on that and skies it up to center field. Johnson's going way back, still going. He gloves it, and the tag comes up. The throw on over to third will be in a beautiful in time, but the runner, Caleb Larson, on over at third base, tags up and will make it home on the sacrifice fly. And with that, another run comes across, and it's now 3-1 in favor of Kearney Runza. But 2 are down now for Cole Throckmorton to come up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance. He has a runner, Jace Blattner at second, and Jacob Hansen at first base, as Johnson takes his glance at second and delivers to Throckmorton. He turns on it, and it chops foul for strike number 1. So 0-1 the count now. It's a 3-1 lead in favor of Kearney Runza. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. All 3 of those runs have come across here in the bottom of the third inning. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error for the Nationals. As Johnson, long glance at second, delivers the 0-1. Ooh, that's going to bounce away there from the side of Tristan Byer, and with that, both batters will move their way on over. 1 base pad following the passed up ball, and now are in a more dangerous scoring position. Second and third now, so a single into the outfield will most certainly score both runners, as it's a 1-1 count. Ball just skipped away from Tristan Byer, a rarity that you see from him. And now Johnson with an even more tough task. The 1-1 pitch into Throckmorton, turns on it, and it's just going to barely loop foul. Strike number 2. It's 1-2 the count now, so good little bounce back here for Johnson to potentially need just one more strike to end this inning with 2 down. 3 runs have come across, a 3-1 lead now for Kearney Runza. Johnson shakes off a few signs and delivers his 1-2 pitch. Chopper, that'll stay foul, so we'll still stay at 1-2 the count. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what head coach Ricky Holmes is going to do here in terms of, do they keep Johnson in for at least one more inning in the bottom of the 4th and then transition to a pitcher in the bottom of the 5th, or will they go a separate way? The 1-2 popped up, drifting on out to center field, but it's going to be called off as Race Morkey now gets under it, and he gloves it for the final out of this inning. Nationals able to get out, but 3 runs did come across on 3 hits for the side of Kearney Runza. They now lead 3-1. We come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Sandhill State Bank is a bank for Sandhillers. Families, entrepreneurs, teachers, nonprofits, farmers, nurses, contractors, ranchers, stylists, artists, retailers, professionals, outfitters, restaurateurs, mechanics. It takes all of us to make the Sandhills prosper, and Sandhill State Bank is here to help. Open an account today at sandhillstate.com/open, or visit one of our 10 locations across the Sandhills to start growing the Sandhills together. Sandhill State Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for a fuel stop that goes above and beyond? Well, look no further. Wicked Fast in North Platte is here to take your refueling experience to new heights. Jennifer and the crew at Wicked Fast believe that exceptional service makes all the difference. But they're not just about fueling your vehicle. If you're feeling hungry, grab a snack or a drink at Wicked Fast on North Highway 83 in North Platte. Conveniently located across the street from DeWitt Center. And have you downloaded the MyPhillips 66 app yet? You're missing out on amazing savings that'll make your gas bills much easier on your wallet.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Welcome back here to the top of the fourth inning. FNBO Nationals currently at the moment trailing Kearney runs a 3-1 as Ty Robinson's up to bat now against Bryce Anderson. It's a 1-1 count into one. Ty Robinson. Our top, our top of the fourth inning is brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortified Group. He's been helping Nebraska farmers and families and businesses for more than 50 years. For all your farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, head to Kevin McGann and the Fortified Group. 2-1 the count now into one. Ty Robinson, again, who led off in the top of the second. That pitch off speed can now be 3-1 as it just falls off the mark. Also, thank you to our sponsors here for today's game. Sandhills State Bank, the most committed brand in banking, locations in North Platte and many more. Go to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and location. That fastball tight inside, but called for ball 4. And with that, Ty Robinson will lead off this inning with a walk. Now move his way to first base with Race Morkey. Now up to bat. Morkey struck out swinging in his first plate appearance against Bryce Anderson. We'll have to turn it around here and move Robinson on over to second as Bryce Anderson delivers. Well, that's going to get away there from Cole Throckmorton, and with that, the big man Ty Robinson moves his way to second on the passed up ball. A rarity from Throckmorton in terms of losing where the ball is, and because of that, it's ball number 1 to Morkey, and Ty Robinson moves his way to second and in scoring position. The game-tying run now at home plate. So 1-0 to Race Morkey from Bryce Anderson as he glances at second and delivers. That's in there, though. Strike number 1. It's 1-1 the count now. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error for the FNBO Nationals, who currently trail 3-1. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Kearney Runza here in this top of the fourth inning, as the delivery turned on and fouled up to the grandstands. It's now a 1-2 count into Race Morkey, who's once again playing second base in today's game with Carson Johnson on the mound. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a pitching change in the top of the 5th from the Nationals as Anderson now will deliver his 1-2 into Race Morkey. Oh, in there, strike number 3, and for the second time today, Race Morkey goes down on strikes, that time looking. And there's out number 1 of this inning for the Nationals. We'll now bring up to the bat, Blaze Zeiler. He reached on an error again. Ty Robinson was at first base last time Zeiler was up to bat. He bunted his way on over to third, following a passed-up ball, and unfortunately didn't score Robinson as he got caught trying to get to home on a beautiful throw from Jacob Hansen. As a tight pitch on over and an easy tag out, as that pitch was so high and tight inside to Blaze Zeiler. The Nationals, what they do when they try to steal is have the batter swing, but because that pitch was so high and tight inside to Blaze Zeiler, Robinson was already trying to steal the second, and Zeiler just couldn't swing to get contact on it, so because of that, an easy out, number 2 here in this top of the fourth inning as Zeiler tried to lay the bunt down, but got called for a strike. It's 1-1 the count now. Another unfortunate series of events on the base pads for the Nationals trying to push their luck. That pitch high, but finds the zone. It's 1-2 now. Good pitch framing from Cole Throckmorton to keep it in the zone. 1-2 to Zeiler, who's 0 for 1 today, and nobody on and 2 down. The 1-2. Swing and a miss there. Strike number 3, another strikeout, and that is how this inning comes to the end for the Nationals. It was looking good with Ty Robinson on over at second base, but he got caught stealing, and a strikeout from Zeiler ends the inning. We'll now head to the bottom of the 4th with, again, a 3-1 lead in favor of the side of Kearney Runza when we come back here. FM 98.1 AM 1410 and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too. At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Are you ready to make a lasting impression? It's time to embrace distinction and stand out from the crowd. Willow Creek Embroidery, your go-to destination for exceptional personalization. They specialize in awards and trophies. Whether you're recognizing achievements in sports, academics, or business, they have a wide selection to honor the best of the best. Visit them today at 1620 East 4th Street, Suite 120, right by the Garys. Discover the exceptional personalization that sets you apart. Willow Creek Embroidery in North Platte.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the 4th inning. FNBO Nationals currently trailing Kearney Runza in this one, 3-1. 3 runs on 5 hits and 1 error for Kearney. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error for the Nationals. Carson Johnson still on the mound going up against Garrison Burns to lead off again the bottom of the 4th inning. The first pitch in from Carson Johnson is swung on and fouled off the bat for strike number 1. Thank you again to our sponsor here in the bottom of the 4th, Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group, his new location. 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as Red Willow Chemical. At Red Willow Chemical, they offer both generic and name brand chemicals and fertilizers in bulk option. Swung on, though, driven to left, and it's going to be caught by Andrew Brocious in left field for out number 1. He laid it all out there, and he gloved it. Great job by Brocious. Start this inning off with an out. Now continuing on with Red Willow Chemical, they also deliver aerial and delivery application services. You can get more info online at rwchemical.com. And there it is, that outfield defense, which so far, not just today, but all season has been very, very strong, specifically Brocious in left. Nothing really gets past him, and if there's anybody at third base or trying to get home, nothing, and I mean nothing, has been able to move away from him as that pitch in from Carson Johnson to Carter Lee is down low, ball number 1. Lee's 0 for 2 today. He flew out in his first plate appearance, but then reached on an error in his second. 3-1 lead for Kearney here as Johnson delivers. Fouled off the bat of Carter Lee for strike number 1. It's a 1-1 count. Still no action. The bullpen for not just North Platte, but also Kearney. They've yet to warm anybody up as Bryce Anderson looking to go a long, long ways in this game. Johnson, with his 1-1 pitch, now delivers. Ooh, that off speed is off the mark. It's high, ball 2, 2-1 the count now. Following Carter Lee, Nolan Smith, and then Bryce Anderson for the side of Kearney. They are just rolling through the order so far. The 2-1 pitch, check swing, and they're going to say he went around, and there's strike number 2. It's 2-2 the count now. Johnson looking again for another strikeout. He get 2 outs in this inning. Knock on wood. Don't want anything bad to happen here. I knocked on wood, so nothing bad's going to happen. The 2-2 pitch in from Johnson. Oh, boy, that one's driven in the right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So with that, Carter Lee gets on with a single. He's going to go for the double, and he'll get there. Following Zeiler unable to hone the ball in too much. And Okay. Don't look at me. I didn't mean it. I knocked on wood. I did, I swear. I knocked on wood. So leading off with the 1 out, Carter Lee gets to second base to bring up Nolan Smith. He's 0 for 1 today. Walked in his first plate appearance and then, struck out looking in his second. He'll have Carter Lee at second. Another scoring opportunity for Kearney Runza. Already a 3-1 lead. They're looking to extend it more. Johnson fires. Down low in the turf. There's ball number 1. Check swing in the side of Nolan Smith. Ball number 1. Now we're starting to ask the question with Johnson up to 78 pitches. When is head coach Ricky Holmes going to go to his bullpen? Or at least start warming somebody up? 1-0 the count now. With Nolan Smith up to bat. They're going to call a balk on Carson Johnson. So he was going for the pitch, lifted his leg, and it went straight down. And just like that, Lee goes on over to second following the balk. And now the runner is even more in scoring position at third base. And nobody out. 1 out, correction. 1-0 as Johnson in the motion delivers. That one, roller on over to Polk at short. He'll glance at third and throw to first in time. And there's a second out of this inning. Good stare down from Polk to keep Carter Lee from trying to make his way home. And with that, 2 are down now to bring up the ever-dangerous Bryce Anderson. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first plate appearance. Singled in his second. Again, almost hit that home run in his first plate appearance. Pulled it foul along the right field side. Lucky for the Nationals, that would have been a 3-run homer. And that first inning would have made a big difference. With 2 down now, Johnson looking to get out of this inning unscathed. He delivers. That fastball in there, strike number 1. Good bounce back pitch from Johnson. After that bonk, really looking to make up for it. Again, has Carter Lee at third with an 0-1 count. Turned on, it's drifting high up into the sky. Zyler's going to get under it. He's still looking, and he gets there and gloves it for out number 3, even though the balk was given up and a hit was given. Nationals were able to end this inning as we head to the top of the 5th. Still a 3-1 lead in favor of Kearney Runza. When we come back, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Mid-Plains Community College is the right choice to transform your future. With a variety of educational formats, including face-to-face, distance learning, online, and hybrid options available, your future career is waiting for you. Fall classes begin on August 21st, so give us a call today at 800-658-4308 to get scheduled with an advisor. That's 800-658-4308, or visit our website at mpcc.edu.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
Welcome back here to the top of the 5th inning. Nationals at the moment still currently trailing 3-1. Bryce Anderson is still on the mound. There is some action in the bullpen for the Nationals. I think that's Landon Greeno. Oh, maybe Ty Robinson warming up here. As up to bat is, well, not Bryce Anderson. Whoopsie daisies. We'll make that a little bit of a correction here. Caden Johnson up to bat here against Bryce Anderson as he'll look at that first pitch outside. Ball number 1. Thank you again to our top of the 5th inning sponsor, Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group, his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. The 1-0. That one lofted in the right field for a base hit. Johnson collects his first hit of today's game. And now with nobody out, and he gets on here for this, and now there's a steal threat on the base pads. I believe, again, I'm looking and I'm believing that is Ty Robinson on the mound. Yep, with the way he's pitching, that is Ty Robinson. I know that windup from anywhere. As Johnson now on, there's some speed on the base pads with Jack Polk up to bat. He struck out swinging in his first plate appearance and was hit by a pitch in his second, right in the hip. The pitch from Bryce Anderson is actually going to be a pickoff as Johnson gets back. 1 run on now 3 hits for the Nationals and 1 error compared to 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for Kearney Runza. As Anderson lining up here, the pitch will glance and deliver. Ooh, that fastball's in there. Strike number 1, 2-1 Jack Polk, really good on that fastball. Following Polk, Carter Kelly, then Carson Johnson. This is strong half of the order for the Nationals as Johnson 2 for 2 today. He had the Nationals only 2 hits up to this point before Johnson was able to collect his first hit as another pickoff attempt. We'll get him back, but not in time. It was kind of a lazy pickoff as Johnson easily got back to the base. 0-1 the count to Jack Polk as Anderson looking to get a double play. Or maybe end this, or maybe start off with an out. There goes Johnson. Great on over that pitch. Oh, great hit. Actually gloved up by the second baseman. He can get past the first baseman on a little bit of a misplay. And just like that, 2 runners are on now. That is exactly what head coach Ricky Holmes was looking to see. Johnson taking off beautifully. Polk then hit the ball. Carter Lee was able to glove it, and he thought about it, like he literally turned, looked at second base, said that wasn't going to work, then had to quickly turn to first and throw it, and in doing so, it got past the first baseman, Nolan Smith, and just like that, the Nationals now have 2 runners on the base paths, this time 1 at third, and Jack Polk on over at second, so with nobody out, things looking spicy for the Nationals with Carter Kelly up to bat as that first pitch is in there. Strike number 1 to Kelly. He walked in his first plate appearance and then flew out in his second as, again, Kearney gets hit with their second error today. As Anderson steps off. Johnson trying to attempt a home plate steal or give off the notion he is, but Anderson this time not falling for it. Runners again, Polk at second, Johnson at third. The pitch. Down low, he's going to get away from Cole Throckmorton, and with that, here comes Caden Johnson home, and like that, the Nationals now have cut into this lead. It's 3-2 following the passed-up ball. And now Polk's on over at third. It's a 1-1 count to Carter Kelly. Nationals threatening to tie this ball game up here in the top of the 5th inning. They're showing signs of life on the offensive side once again. The 1-1. Check swing on a pitch that's inside. They're going to say Kelly went around with it, and there's strike number 2. It's a 1-2 count. Head coach Ricky Holmes not either happy with that call or happy with Kelly thinking about swinging on a pitch that was outside, but either which way, it's a 1-2 count. As Anderson delivers, that one going to be, I'm going to say, actually, there's a little bit of a misplay. I'm going to see late call on what they're going to say. Are they going to say that's a foul tipper off of Carter Kelly? Are they going to say that he's going to make his way to first? Wow, they're going to say that it was a dropped ball from the side of Cole Throckmorton, and because of that, Carter Kelly's going to make his way on over to first. Such a confusing call, but either which way, there's now 2 runners on the base paths for the Nationals here in this ball game, and Carter Kelly's at first, and Jack Polk is at third for Carson Johnson, who's hit 2 singles. Can he make it 3? That one lofted foul. Strike number 1. It's an 0-1 count now. Again, he's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. Carson Johnson is up to this point in this inning. He had the lone 2 hits for the Nationals squad. As again, Caden Johnson earlier this inning picked up the 3rd hit for the Nationals. Kelly at first, Polk at third. 0-1 count. There goes the runner. Throckmorton's throw to second. A double steal is going to bounce into the outfield, so Carter Kelly will steal, and then easily making his way home on the double steal is Jack Polk. And just like that, the Nationals once again, with some really great trickery on the base paths, score a run, and it's tied 3 apiece with nobody out, and Carter Kelly on over at second base. Johnson, if he gets one in the outfield, might actually score Carter Kelly. Possibly. It's a 1-1 count as Anderson, the lefty, delivers. Way outside. There's ball number 2. It's 2-1 the count now. Man, what a crazy inning this has been for if you've been a Kearney fan. An error, and then 2 passed up balls, and then a double steal has allowed the Nationals to tie this game up 3 apiece. The 2-1 from Anderson. That's high in the zone around the letters, but not called for a strike. There's ball 3. Again, talked about how pitches, if they're around the letters, haven't been called a strike. That time, once more, Around the letters, no strike. 3-1 the count now as Anderson fires to Johnson. He turns on it, slow roller, going to get on over to the shortstop, over to first. It bounces through the first baseman gloves. Nolan Smith can't hold it. And just like that, Carson Johnson reaches on the base pads following an error from Nolan Smith. And with that, the third error of this ball game for Kearney. And the Nationals are threatening to score once again with Tristan Beyer up to bat. Hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. He flew out in his second. With nobody out and 2 runners on. Kelly at third. Johnson at first. Wouldn't be surprised if Carson Johnson attempts a steal. And maybe yet again another double steal. As Anderson takes the glance and fires. Ooh, check swing from Beyer. I'm going to say he went around for strike number 1. Following Tristan Beyer, Andrew Brocious, then Ty Robinson. Again, they have 3 outs. Well, 2 outs to play with in terms of getting Carter Kelly home, but 3 outs to get as many maximum runners home as possible. 2 have already come across, and we are a tie game, 3 apiece. Anderson, there goes the pitch, and the runner Johnson with a mega jump. Bryce Anderson with the long windup allowed Carson Johnson to easily steal over to second, and now with a 1-1 count, Carter Kelly's at third and Johnson's at second. We could be seeing 2 runs come across if Beyer gets one into the outfield for a single. He swings and fouls it off. Strike number 2. Man, he was looking. Again, he had it in his mind. He was looking for it. Again, still have 2 outs to play with in terms of free outs for the Nationals to get these runs across. Some pretty good hitters coming up to do so. Anderson with his windup in the 1-2. High up ball number 2. That was way high up in the zone. Throckmorton had to fly up to get it. 2-2 the count. Nationals really haven't been affected by Throckmorton's catching ability behind home plate. Really doing a much better job of getting jumps off the back. The 2-2 turned on and fouled once again down the third base side. It's 2-2 where we'll still be sitting. Nobody warming up in the bullpen for Kearney. Again, they'll have their start of a game, their tournament tomorrow is. Well, at the start of their tournament, they'll have a game against Lexington tomorrow. 2-2 the count now. As Anderson winds up again. Popped up. And that's going to drift and keep drifting out of play foul. So that's now the second foul ball. That's the third foul ball in 4 pitches. As now we have some action going out to the bullpen for Kearney. Numbers 14 and 7. I don't know who's going to be pitching in terms of that. It's Rhett Mundorf alongside Derek Nonhoff. 2-2 as Anderson steps off. It's going to be Nonhoff that's going to be pitching. Yep, it is going to be Nonhoff who will be warming up for Kearney Runza here. 2-2 the count. Anderson steps and fires to Beyer. He swings. He lofts it up to right field. Shallow right field as onwards comes Hansen who will glove it for out. Number 1 is Carter Kelly thought about stealing, but he pulls back, and again, there's the first down of this inning. As now up to bat comes Andrew Brocious. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts, and boy, what a good opportunity would it be for him to get his first hit of the day and bring 2 runs home for the Nationals. Currently tied 3-3, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for the Nationals, compared to 3 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors for Kearney Runza. Ty Robinson on deck with Race Morkey in the hole. As Anderson steps and fires. Turned on and fouled off the bat of Andrew Brocious for strike number 1. Thank you again, though, to our sponsors for today's game. Allo Communications, they're our premier video sponsor. Allo has packages that let you experience fast, reliable fiber internet, fiber TV, and fiber phone. At Allo, you can go to allofiber.com for all your information. Carter Kelly's going for the home plate steal, and the bunt from Brocious gets fouled off. There was the first home plate steal in quite some time for the Nationals. Going to be set up by a Brocious bunt. It would have been laid down beautifully, but it gets fouled off, and now it's an 0-2 count to Andrew Brocious. Just so close. You hate to see it. That would have been the most beautiful steal I've seen in my 2 years. Well, a year and a half. As the 0-2 Turn off from Brochus. It's a little grounder. Picked up by the third baseman. The throw to first in time, but Carter Kelly will score, and with that sacrifice, the Nationals retake the lead here, 4-3. A nice sacrifice hit on the side of Andrew Brochus. Allows Carter Kelly to get home and Carson Johnson to move to third. And now up to bat comes Ty Robinson. Robinson, who's 0 for 2 today. He reached on an error and then walked in his second plate appearance. Would love to get Carson Johnson home. Johnson with the speed can come home on a steal if necessary. Excuse me, that pitch is inside for strike number 1. Or to be ball number 1. Wow. Maybe I need my glasses checked by Clear Focus Eye Care. Of course, just go to Clear Focus Eye Care to schedule your appointment here today. A 1-0 count from Anderson to Robinson. Swing and a miss. He wanted it badly on that one. It's a 1-1 count now to the first baseman. Race Morkey on deck with Blaze Zeiler in the hole. Carson Johnson at third base. And he is really walking, and he almost got caught. Almost got caught with picking off there. He really was aggressive on his leadoff. That's what he does when he attempts to steal home. He'll walk really far out and then run back to third. Get the pitcher interested. The 1-1 is Anderson with the windup delivers. High up there, ball number 2. It's 2-1 the count. It's a fun game that I love to see with Carson Johnson there at third base because, man, if he does get a good jump, he can go home with it. Anderson's got a long windup, so he can make it home if Anderson's not careful. The 2-1. That's high at the letters. There's ball 3. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Maybe he goes here. He's been really tempting it. 3-1 the count with 2 down. Anderson glances at third and delivers the 3-1. Oh, just barely in that outside part of the zone. Strike 2. Man, oh man, that was just barely clipping in. It's a full count. 3-2 with 2 down for Ty Robinson as Anderson delivers. Popped up, sky high, drifting under. It gets Throckmorton, but it's going to hit off the backstop for a foul ball. So the Nationals and Ty Robinson will get another attempt. But man, oh man, what an intense at-bat this has been. Again, wouldn't be surprised if Carson Johnson at one point attempts the full-blown home plate steal. He got called out earlier this season trying to do it. Will he do it again? 3-2 with 2 down. Nationals lead 4-3 here in this top of the 5th inning. Anderson with the windup. 3-2. Down low in the turf. Ball 4. Ty Robinson takes the walk. Beautiful display of patience. He makes his way on over to first to now bring up Race Morkey. Morkey, hitting-wise, has not had a strong day today. 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking. He has Ty Robinson at first base, Carson Johnson at third, and the Nationals leading by 1. Can they get another one across? As Anderson takes his glance at third, and now first and winds up. There goes Ty Robinson. Throckmorton will not attempt to throw it to second, so with that, Ty Robinson easily picks up the steal. Man, I'm telling you, even though Ty Robinson's not known for his speed, he's been picking up steals left and right, it feels like, today. I believe that's his second of the ballgame. 0-1, 2 runners in scoring position at second and third. The pitch. Morkey turns on it and fouls it right back, so now it's a 0-2 count to Race Morkey. Not looking to strike out for a third time today. Would be disastrous. Well, I wouldn't say disastrous, but another opportunity would be given up by the Nationals scoring-wise. Anderson with his 0-2 pitch. Oh, just skirting the outside part of the plate. It's going to be called a ball. It's holding on for dear life with that one, but it gets called a ball. It's 1-2. Good patience from Morkey. Not the pitch he likes, so he didn't swing, and luckily it didn't bite him in the rear end. The 1-2, though, from Anderson as he delivers. Woo, almost hits Race Morkey, and it will hit Race Morkey. And with that, he's going to go on over to first. And the bases for the second time in this ball game have been loaded for the FNBO Nationals with 2 down. Blaze Zeiler comes up to bat. And now here comes the interesting proposition. Zeiler with his speed, he most certainly, I think, will attempt the bunt here. So, with the way the infield's playing at the moment, I would not be surprised. It's third baseman Caleb Larson is just at the back end of the infield grass. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zeiler lays that bunt down right here. Here comes the pitch. Oh, they're going to let him swing as that pitch is in there. Strike number 1 from Anderson. I really thought the Nationals would attempt a bunt here. Johnson again showing potential steal. The 0-1 pitch to Zeiler. Ooh, almost hit Zeiler. It's going to hit Blaze Zeiler. And with that, another run's going to come across for the Nationals. I didn't think it hit him, but the home plate umpire says so. And with that, on over to first goes one Blaze Zeiler. And that'll do it here today in this game for Bryce Anderson. His 96 total pitches ends as he's given up 4 runs here in this top of the 5th inning. Wow, 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error for the Nationals. 3 runs on 6 hits, 3 errors for Kearney Runza. And Anderson had a really strong start. Only gave up the 1 run in the top of the 3rd inning, but this inning it's all kind of fallen apart for him as he's hit a couple batters. He hit 2 back-to-back just now and walked another couple, and because of that, the Nationals now lead 5-3 with the bases still loaded and 2 out. For guess who? One Caden Johnson. That's right, Caden Johnson. Fun fact in this ball game, led off this inning with a hit. That's how we've gone. We've gone all the way through the order here for the Nationals, if I remember correctly. He started it off with a hit, and he now comes up here with 2 down and an opportunity to score not 1, but 2 more runs if he gets one into the outfield, just like he did earlier in this inning. 5-3 lead for the Nationals here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. Hey, thank you again, though, to our sponsors for today. Willow Creek Embroidery, new location, new owner. Check out Robert and the crew, 1620 East 4th Street, Suite 120, right by the Garys. So up to pitch now for the side of Kearney Runza. Correction here. It was 96 total pitches for Bryce Anderson, 56 strikes and 40 balls. It's going to be Derek Nodhoff who will be up to pitch for Kearney Runza. And their squad here at the moment as it'll be Caden Johnson up to bat. He's 1 for 3 today. Grounded out in his first plate appearance. Flew out in his second, but again, singled in this inning to lead it off. Now with the bases loaded, has the same opportunity to create some magic once more against the new pitcher, Nonhoff. Robinson at third. Borky at second. Zeiler at first. Nonhoff pitching for the first time today. He's facing Johnson. His first pitch. Turned on, driven out to center field, but underneath it's going to be Quinn Foster, and he easily gloves it. And 1 pitch and 1 swing and 1 out, and that's how this top of the 5th comes to an end. But not before 4 runs came across on only 1 hit. The Nationals now lead 5-3 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're going to have, I believe, a new pitcher for the Nationals here, as it should be Ty Robinson. Wait, hold on a second there. It's going to actually be Carson Johnson once more. He'll go out for another inning of play when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Drop the kids off. I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See me, Pete Volz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Now the weather is warmer, it's time to dust off your golf clubs and head out to River's Edge Golf Club in North Platte with beautifully maintained lush greens and breathtaking views. River's Edge offers a modern course that is perfect for golfers of all skill levels. But that's not all. After your game, swing into another round sports bar for some amazing food and drinks. You'll find something for everyone on their menu, from juicy burgers to crisp salads and refreshing drinks. River's Edge is open to the public, so anyone can come and enjoy the fun.
Welcome back here to the bottom of the fifth inning. Nationals at the moment now leading the side of Kearney. Runs up 5-2-3. 5 runs on 3 hits. 1 error for the Nationals. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for Kearney. Runs up. As Caleb Larson will come up to bat here against Carson Johnson, still on the mound. Again, Ty Robinson was warming up, but Johnson going to still hold down the fort in the pitching moment. Our bottom of the fifth inning is brought to you in part by Kevin McCann and the Ford Fire Group. You check out his new location, 621 South Dewey. Sweet B is that pitch from Johnson is 2 outside. There's ball number 1 to Caleb Larson. As he fires away, drilled and fouled down the right field side. It's now 1-1 the count. Thank you again to our sponsors, Wicked Fast. Are you looking for a fuel stop that's wicked fast and easy to use? Then head over to Wicked Fast, the most advanced gas stop in town. Located conveniently across from the Do-It Center in North Platte. Lofted on out to right field, and it's going to fall just barely foul from Caleb Larson. As Zyler was using the Jets to get there as quick as he can, and if it stayed fair, it would have been more than just a single. But that just lifts foul. It's 1-2 the count now to Caleb Larson. Following Larson, Chase Blattner, and then Jacob Hansen for Kearney Runza. He is 1 for 2 today, Larson is. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance and singled in his second. 1-2 count from Johnson as he sets and fires. Well, that fastball down low, ball 2, did it again. Tried to throw it right past Larson and lost his control. It's down low in the turf. It's 2-2 the count now with nobody out and nobody on. Bottom of the fifth inning. Johnson, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on down to Carter Kelly at third. He gloves it, picks it up, and over to first in time. And there is the first down of this inning as down goes Larson on the ground out. 1 down for the Nationals, who, again, really picked it up after giving up those 3 runs in the bottom of the third inning. Have really picked it up, not only defensively, but Carson Johnson, pitching-wise, has picked it up. Looks kind of sketchy for a moment to see if Johnson might not make it this far, but he's really picked the tempo up in these last couple of innings and held the fort down for Blattner now to come up, and he takes a big swing and a big old miss. It's 0-1 the count now to Blattner. He's 1 for 2 today, singled in his second plate appearance, but flew out in his first. He's facing an 0-1 count with 1 down now. Following Blattner, Jacob Hansen and Quinn Foster for Kearney runs up. As Johnson fires. 1 lifted out to left field, but it'll be lifted way out foul. I mean, I'm telling you, it's way lifted out there. Foul. That would have been another home run if it stayed fair, but 0-2 the count now to Blattner. Johnson, though, looking for his second strikeout of this ballgame. As he gets a sign from Beyer and delivers his 0-2 pitch. Popped up. It's little light-footed, and it'll hit the back of the netting, so another foul ball will stay at 0-2 the count now. Been an eventful game for either squad. Nationals have gotten 5 runs on 3 hits. The National Special is how I'll call it. Really getting a whole heaping heck ton of runs from a limited amount of hits. It's kind of, I wouldn't say become a commonality, but it's just it's been an FNBO National Special these last 2 years to be putting up a lot of runs on a small amount of hits. As Johnson now with his 0-2 once again would love to strike out Blattner here as he fires away with it. Oh, another one of those fastballs that's down in front in the turf. Ball 1. It's 1-2 the count now to Blattner. As fireworks are being set off in the background. Wow, happy early 4th of July, I guess. Again, fireworks be able to sold on Wednesday in North Platte, so go out and pick up some. The 1-2. Oh, fell back to the netting there. Oh, almost fell back into the press box. It's once again a 1-2 count. I was going to say happy early 4th of July with those fireworks being fired out there. A little bit of an early showing in this game. 1-2 the count with 1 out for Chase Blattner as Johnson sets and fires. Oh my good golly gracious, just barely falling outside the zone. Ball 2. I mean, I think that one from my angle looked in, but it doesn't. 2-2 the count now as Johnson will fire away again. That time fouled off the bat of Blattner as that bounces off his foot. 2-2 the count now. Man, I'm talking. Oh, man, I am talking. That is just millimeters from getting into the zone. So it's a 2-2 count now to Blattner, the left fielder. As Johnson once more will fire away. Popped up. That time it looks like it's good for the Nationals as it's going to just again fall right into the netting just barely. 2-2 once more. My good golly gracious. This is quite an at-bat. Unfortunate for Carson Johnson, but then at the same time really good from Blattner to just keep battling away with it and waste as many pitches and the energy. Carson Johnson. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Nationals lead 5-3 after 4 runs came across last inning on only 1 hit. Johnson's payoff, 2-2. Driven out to left field, but once more fouled. We're just going to keep fouling it away. It's now a 2-2 the count. Once again, for it feels like the 80th time. I'm growing older by the second. Next thing you know, we're going to foul another one off, and I'll turn 27. 24 right now, so I maybe skipped a few years. 2-2 the count here with 1 out, nobody on for Kearney in their bottom half of the 5th inning. The pitch again. That time might have done the trick as that singled up the middle for a single as Blattner gets the upper hand against Carson Johnson. So with 1 out, there's now a runner on at first base following that lengthy battle. It's won by Blattner, and now up to bat comes Jacob Hansen. He's 1 for 2 today, grounded out in his first plate appearance and singled in his second, and that might do it for Carson Johnson, maybe. I would love to see head coach Ricky Holmes give him another opportunity. And maybe this is just to go have a chit-chat with Johnson to give him a little bit of rest after that long battle he had with Blattner. And yep, it was just to give him a little rest. Again, Ty Robinson was warming up, so he will be the pitcher that will be taken over, I would believe, at the very least in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Nationals. If they get out of this inning, unscathed, knock on wood. Got to knock on wood all the time. Make sure I don't jinx this team. I am a jinx machine. So, Hansen up to bat, rounded out in his first plate appearance. He singled to left field last time, has Blattner at first with 1 out. As Johnson winds up and delivers. That fastball around the knees and in for strike number 1. 0-1 the count now. Following Hansen, it's Quinn Foster, then Cole Throckmorton for Kearney. There is a double play ball in effect if he grounds out. The 0-1, high around the letters, but just too high. There's ball number 2, or excuse me, ball 1, 1-1 again. You got to talk about one thing being consistent from the home plate umpire. It's anything around the letters, there's ball. On either side, not just one side. 1-1 the count with 1 down here. Runner at first as Johnson delivers. Oh, that's down low in the turf. With that one, there's ball number 2. It's 2-1 the count now to Hansen, again with Blattner at first. It's currently a 2-run lead, so the tying run is at home plate for Kearney. Johnson with his 2-1 pitch fires. Oh, it's in there. Strike number 2. Person right next to me not happy with that with that call, as it was, in his opinion, outside, but the home plate umpire saw it differently. It's 2-2 the count now with 1 out. As Johnson steps and fires. Chopper on over to Carter Kelly. He gloves it. The throw to second in time, so they'll get the easy out. Wow, they're going to say he's safe at second. They're going to say Ray Smorky didn't step on the bag, and now here comes head coach Ricky Holmes. I don't know if he's going to talk with Johnson or he's going to talk with the home plate umpire or the infielder. Nope, it's going to be the end of Carson Johnson. So, my oh my, I thought that was an easy out at second, but they're going to say otherwise, and what would have been 2 down now turns into 2 runners on as Carter Kelly threw it to Morkey at second, but Morkey just couldn't get on the bag, and with that, there goes the end of Carson Johnson's day. 99 pitches, 63 strikes, compared to 38 balls. A good disparity in terms of his strike-to-ball ratio. And now it'll be Ty Robinson taking over the mantle at pitching. And then with that happening, we're going to then have, and now we're really playing some defensive shenanigans in terms of who's going where. We're going to have one Landon Greeno take over first base, with then Johnson moving back over to second for the Nationals. As again, Ty Robinson on the mound, normally known for being the long reliever for this squad. That is one big spider that is out that window. I am so sorry. My brain just went right to that sucker. Again, Ty Robinson known for his long reliever spot. He will be taking over here in this bottom of the fifth inning. Nationals leading by 2. The tying run is at first base with the game-leading run at home for Kearney being one Quinn Foster. He's 1 for 1 today, singled in his first plate appearance, but then sacrifice flew out in his second. Following him, Throckmorton will be batting, and then back to Garrison Burns. Nationals picked up 4 runs in the top of the fifth inning. Would love to continue that here today, or well, keep in terms of the score where it is today, to pick up a victory and make it 2 wins in a row. So Ty Robinson up to bat. Landon Greeno defensively now moves to first, and then Johnson back to his home out in second base. Robinson, strong showing. And this is one of those times where, Ken Cooper Hill not with the team this year, one of the few Nationals players that are not present. Again, Cole Wright graduating and moving on with his collegiate career, and then Cooper Hill not coming back this year. That's one of those things where I kind of think head coach Ricky Holmes would have loved it if Cooper Hill could come back. Just add another young arm in the rotation, man. He was so good last year in so many different outings. It's kind of sad to not see him come back, as that first pitch from Ty Robinson to Foster is down in the dirt. Hey, we missed you, Cooper. Hopefully we see you again here in the future. As it's a 1-0 count into Quinn Foster from Ty Robinson, but it's funny, we lose Cooper Hill, but Ty Robinson's kind of taken up that mantle as that really good long reliever. That's a big crow out there, or maybe it's a hawk. The 1-0 for Robinson, turned on and absolutely smothered to left field, but it's going to go foul for strike number 1. Yeah, Ty Robinson kind of turned into that really dependable long reliever the Nationals need out of the bullpen. And in many games, he's rescued the game for the Nationals pitching-wise. You can point back to the Ogallala game, you can point back to the Kearney game, well, not the Kearney game, but the Ogallala game for certain. Game number 1, he came and he not only pitched a strong last 2 innings, but picked up the game-winning single, as that one once more is fouled off the bat of Quinn Foster for a 1-2 count. Jacob Hansen on over at first. Blattner at second. It's the 8th hit of the day, correction, for Kearney. 3 runs on 8 hits. 1-2 count. Robinson looking for the second out of this bottom of the 5th. Hey, he fires. Popped up. Slowly drifting foul, and unfortunately Greeno can't get there in time, and it's going to fall out for foul ball number 3. That's 3 straight foul balls off of Quinn Foster. As Robinson gets the sign from Beyer after shaking off a couple. Finally likes the one he sees. Glances at second to Blattner. Here comes his 1-2. Whoa! Right off the back there of Quinn Foster. Hits him. And now with that, we have the bases loaded for Kearney. Not exactly what Ty Robinson was looking for, but now with the bases loaded, it gets a little more tricky for the Nationals here in this ball game. Here comes Cole Throckmorton up to bat. He walked in his first plate appearance and flew out to center in his last at-bat. As the fireworks going off in the distance to celebrate that hit by pitch, with the bases now loaded and 1 out. Nationals still lead by 2, so giving up only 1 run would be preferable, but we all know head coach Ricky Holmes would love it if no runs came across. As Robinson delivers to Throckmorton, and he swings and fouls it off for strike number 1. So it's a 0-1 count. Another firework going off. Man, they're really popping off here. We're not even to the 4th of July, everybody. Hold it steady. Wait for the 4th of July festivities to fire them off. 0-1 the count with 1 down here. Robinson Glances a long time at second and first and delivers. And that's going to be time called at home plate before the pitch came off, so Throckmorton got the time. It's going to still be an 0-1 count. That pitch was in the zone. Don't want to say anything, but it was in the zone. Should be strike two, but what can I do? It's an 0-1 count. Once again, bases loaded. Robinson fires. Oh, sweet mamma mia. That is... Home plate umpire said that one's not in the zone, but that one most certainly was in the zone on the outside part of the plate. So it's a 1-1 count now to Throckmorton. As Robinson, he's ready. Glances at first and fires. Oh no, it's going to get through Tristan Byers' his boot, but he's able to stare down the third baseman so nonchalantly that Blattner didn't want to run after it really got away from Byer. So it's a 2-1 count now. Man, that was quite gutsy from Byer, and it worked in his favor. So 2-1's the count now to Throckmorton, again, who walked in his first plate appearance. Robinson not looking to give up an easy score here to Kearney, as he now sets and fires it in. Fouled off the bat of Throckmorton. There's strike two. That one would have been ball three, but Throckmorton went swinging, and he gets caught for it. 2-2 now, with one out. Robinson, again, not known for his high velocity, more for his control, so he won't see too many strikeouts unless the batter just really gets out in front of it. Here comes his payoff, 2-2. Swing and a miss. There's strike three. And y'all just eat my words right now. There's the second out of this inning on a strikeout from the side of Cole Throckmorton. As there's the first of this ball game for Ty Robinson. Yeah, just might as well show it up to me, Ty, you know. So with two down and the bases loaded, here comes Garrison Burns. He walked in his first plate appearance, flew out in his next two, so he's 0 for 2 today. Has Blattner at third, Hansen at second, and Foster at first. Robinson fires. Really pulled on it and drifts down the first base side, and it'll fall foul. Strike number one. If somehow, some way, Ty Robinson gets out of this inning without giving up a run, yet again, that is a fantastic effort from him, because it's so tough with the bases loaded. Always a scary, high-pressure situation. So far, handling it perfectly. Oh, heavens, I got to knock on wood. Here comes the 0-1 from Ty Robinson. If he gets a hit here, I'm going to cry. Oh, it's a light blooper. Gloved by Carter Kelly. The throw to first in time. And there's out number 3. Ty Robinson gets it done. The bases may have been loaded, but he finds that final out, and we're going to head to the top of the 6th inning. Nationals still leading 5-3 when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford Honda Nissan Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. CT Computer Services of North Platte has laptops for under $300 now in stock. If your computer is running slow, it probably needs a tune-up. Take it to CT Computer Services. The basic tune-up price is only $50 and save more on Tune-Up Tuesdays. CT Computer Services sells both new and refurbished desktops and laptops, and they have laptops for under $300 in stock now. See your IT guys at 905 South Willow or give them a call, 534-3628.
Welcome back here to Memorial Field. And Nationals currently leading 5-3 here with, again, on the mound, Derek Nonhoff. He'll be facing off against Jack Polk. 5 runs on 3 hits. 1 error on the side of the FNBO Nationals. 3 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for Kearney Runza, once again putting up a hitting galore. But the Nationals just doing enough to keep their lead here. And Polk up to bat. He's 1 for 2 today. Struck out swinging in his first plate appearance, was hit by a pitch in his second, and singled in his third. Nonhoff delivers. Long windup outside. There's ball number 1. Nationals again 21-13 on the year, having one of their best seasons. Compared to Kearney, who's 14-13, having probably one of their most mediocre seasons, how they'll probably describe it. Not their best, but not their worst. As that fastball finds its way in for strike number 1 to Polk. And our top of the 6th inning is brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Sweet Beat. Polk swings on one. Oh, it gets into the glove, though, of Caleb Larson. He throws it to first. Oh, no, it bounces out of the glove of Nolan Smith yet again. And with that, Polk's going to reach on an error. That is the 4th error of this ball game for Kearney, and yet again another one for the first baseman, Nolan Smith. Carter Kelly now will come up to bat, and yet again, the Nationals threatening with some runners on the base paths. Kelly singled in his last at-bat, walked in his first one, and then flew out in his second. He's 1 for 2 today. Pitch, down low to one Carter Kelly. It's ball number 1. Thank you again also to our sponsors here for today's game, BGNS Transmission. Need a transmission repair or replace? Go to BGNS Transmissions, 2015 East 4th, or call 532-8927. They are good at what they do. Another pitch from Nonhoff down in the turf, ball 2. It's 2-0 the count. Jack Polk on over at first base with Cole Throckmorton behind home plate. He's catching, and Carter Kelly up to bat. I don't know why I said Throckmorton. It's Carter Kelly who's up to bat. The 2-0. Make that 2-1 as it sneaks its way in for strike number 1. Following Kelly, Carson Johnson, then Tristan Byer for the Nationals. Still looking to pour the runs on here as we're getting closer to the end of this game. It's 2-1 now. As Nonhoff will glance, long time at first. Another lefty. He delivers. That one, slow roller, going to get on over to short, to second, to first. And there is the double play. And with that now, there's 2 down in this inning, as unfortunately Carter Kelly grounds into the 4-6-3. And with 2 down now, brings up Carson Johnson to the plate. Not how head coach Ricky Holmes and Carter Kelly wanted that at-bat to go, but with 2 down, Johnson now up to bat. He today is 2 for 3. He singled in his first plate appearance, doubled in his second, and then reached on an error in his third. As that pitch sneaks its way in, strike number 1 from Nonhoff. Kearney will have 2 more opportunities, well, 1 more after this current inning, but 2 in total to equalize this lead. It's 5-3 in favor of North Platte. The 0-1 turned on and just fouled off the bat of Carson Johnson for strike number 2. It's 0-2 the count now here in this ball game. As Nonhoff gets his sign from Throckmorton. The 0-2. That one, slow roller on over to short. Gloved up by Burns to first. It pulls the first baseman. Nolan Smith way off the bag. And with that, Carson Johnson gets on after another error is committed. Man, oh man. I mean, Garrison Burns pulled Smith way off of first base, man. It was really far off of first base, and because of that, here comes Tristan Byer up to bat. He 0 for 2 today. He flew out in his last 2 plate appearances. It was hit by a pitch in his first one. Has Carson Johnson at first has already recorded a steal in today's game. Can we make it another one? As Nonhoff will step off, and Throckmorton will now go have a talk with his pitcher. 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error for the Nationals, compared to 3 runs on 8 hits and 6 errors on the side of Kearney. Man, oh man, they're having a tough day today in terms of their defense. A squad that's normally, again, well coached and well oiled on the defensive side, giving up 6 errors. There goes Carson Johnson. He's now caught in the pickle. The throw to second is way in time, and that is how this inning will come to an end. Johnson with a great jump, but he'll get caught in the pickle and get caught stealing it. We'll now head to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Nationals at the moment still leading this one 5-3 when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Events, whether it be a wedding, concert, sporting event, convention, or anything else, the DNN Event Center can handle it all. The DNN Event Center is the biggest event center in North Platte. This building is perfectly suited for anything from small gatherings to major events. Rent just one small room or book the entire facility. The choices are endless at the DNN Event Center, your home for exciting events, special moments, and precious memories. Call today to make your reservation at 534-0255.
We all try to prepare for life's what-ifs, but what happens if those uncertainties become a reality? I'm Stephen Rhodes, and as your local farmer's insurance agent, I'm here for you. I can help you determine the coverage that fits your needs. When you have questions about insurance, turn to me, Stephen Rhodes, with Farmers Insurance. I'm proud to sponsor tonight's game. Go Bulldogs! Find me, Stephen Rhodes, at 102 North Dewey.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back here to Memorial Field as the Nationals currently leading. Kearney runs 5-3. 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error for the Nationals. 3 runs on 8 hits, 6 errors for Kearney here in this ball game. Of course, our bottom of the 6th inning is brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group at his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Alongside a thank you to our sponsor today, CT Computer Services, your IT guy since 2005. Up to bat comes Carter Lee. He's 1 for 3 today. He flew out in his first plate appearance, reached on an error in his second, but then doubled in his third. He'll lead off here in this bottom of the 6th inning for Kearney, looking to bounce back in this game as they currently trail by 2. A blooper over to Carson Johnson at second. A blooper on over to second, and an easy out for the Nationals. 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out, and now here we go. And the Ty Robinson experience so far this season, spectacular. So far in his appearance here in this game, got his way out of a bases-loaded situation, and is looking good so far. With Nolan Smith up to bat, he's 0 for 2 today. He walked in his first plate appearance, struck out looking in his second, and then grounded out in his third. He's having some difficulties holding on to the baseball at first base today as that pitch is down low from Ty Robinson. Ball number 1 around the knees. Good chunk of the errors have been on the first base side for Kearney today. The 1-0. Popped sky high. Drifted on over to Carson Johnson going to get under it at second. He gloves it. That is 2 up, 2 down for the Nationals here in this top of the 6th inning. They are just absolutely on a roll with Bryce Anderson. Brian Anderson is a third baseman in Major League Baseball. Yep. This is Bryce Anderson, not related to Brian Anderson. Sorry about that. He's 1 for 3 today. He reached on a fielder's choice in his first plate appearance, singled in his second, and grounded out in his third. Has nobody on with 2 down here. It's bottom of the 6th. That pitch from Robinson off speed is in there. Strike number 1. Gosh, I just keep getting more and more impressed with Ty Robinson on the mound as this season has been going on and on. Really a true MVP standout for this squad. The 0-1, well, I say that and he throws a ball way outside the zone. It's 1-1 now. I just need to stop saying these things. They keep jinxing me. The 1-1 though from Ty Robinson to Anderson. Turned on and foul back to the netting. It's now 1-2. Anderson again started the day pitching for the side of Kearney. Went 99 pitches, though gave up those 4 runs in the top of the 5th that really dismantled this lead for Kearney. As Robinson with his payoff 1-2. Reached on it once again as Anderson. He'll foul it off, so we'll stay at 1-2. If y'all remember Anderson, this game really could have been different if Anderson pulled that ball in his first at-bat more fair. It was a home run if it did stay fair, but as I'm alluding to right now, it went out of play foul. So he reached, though, on a fielder's choice in his next pitch, but, man, it could have been a damage dealer if he got all the way on it. Swing and a miss. It's going to be a drop third strike. They're not going to say it. They're going to say he went around, and just like that, a quick 1, 2, 3 inning for the FNBO Nationals as we now head to the top of the 7th inning. It's a 5-3 ball game when we come back here. FM 98.1, AM 1410 and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
For fun conversations and amazing pizza, come to Dave's Place. Dave's Place on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Dave's Place is a great summertime place with their incredible fresh pizza of the month, wings, specials on beer, and cocktails.
And Dave's Place is kid-friendly, so bring them in for a fun time this summer.
Dine in, carry out, or DoorDash. Dave's Place is a North Platte tradition at 1510 East 4th Street.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Hey everybody! Whoa! I've got to turn that down. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that. Hey everybody! We're here in the 7th inning. This is it for the side of Kearney. They currently trail at the moment 5-3, but the Nationals will have another half inning of play with Tristan Byer up to bat. He swings and misses on Nonhoff's first pitch. It's 0-1. Nationals again lead 5-3 as Byer once again swings and misses. There's strike number 2. It's 0-2 the count now to the catcher. Again, our top of the 7th inning is brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. It's 0-2 to Tristan Byer as Nonhoff delivers. A quick 3 pitches on over to the third baseman. Great glove from Larson to first. It gets past Nolan Smith. All the way it goes to the wall. And with that, Byer's going to scroll his way to second. He's going to push it. He's pushing it to third. There he goes, Byer! Does he get there in time? Waiting on the call. He's safe at third base! And now here comes the Kearney coach. Going to argue that one. They're going to say that Byer got into third. It's going to be a real close call. I mean, the ball got there in plenty of time, but it looked like Larson just missed the tag. And now we're going to have a talk on over with the umpires to see what the call is. And it's going to be, again, with no replay. Can't really make too many changes. Again, the home plate umpire can make the ultimate ruling. We'll be interested to see what it is. Well, they're going to say he's safe. Oh, they're going to say he's out, and now here comes head coach Ricky Holmes. He's going to talk about it with the home plate umpire to argue his case. And then, there's that. The third base umpire is already apologizing on the missed call. And head coach Ricky Holmes not going to like that at all as Byer got on to the base pads on yet again another misplay on over at first base as Nolan Smith couldn't hold on to it. And just like that, here we go yet again as Byer, golly, man, he did extend it. I think he did get a little too gutsy trying to make his way to third, but you love what he saw and you love what he, the side he saw, and unfortunately gets called out in the end, and there's one down here in this top of the 7th as Andrew Brocious is up to bat. He's grounded out in all 3 of his plate appearances, swings and misses for strike number 1. Man, oh man, maybe how comfortable that extra run could have been if Byer got on to third. But we're going to play it now with, again, bases empty. Nonhoff, his next pitch is down low to Brocious for ball number 1. It's 1-1 the count now. Nationals at the moment still leading 5-3. Have really turned it on defensively with the pitching in the last 4 innings. The pitch. It's outside. Ball 2 to Brocious. 2-1 the count now. Even though Byer got out, that dugout still extremely active. 2-1 with 1 down. Nonhoff sets and fires. Byer swings. It's a grounder. It's going to get on over to the second baseman, Carter Lee. Oh, and it just barely gets there in time. Brocious with the speed almost beat out the lazy throw. And with that, there are 2 down now here in this top of the 7th. And it's Ty Robinson comes up to bat. The pitcher who has just been on an absolute tear ever since subbing in for Carson Johnson. Now with an opportunity to kind of continue this inning along with 2 down. He's 0 for 1 today. He reached on an error in his first plate appearance and then walked in his next 2 as he'll step off and take a little time to refocus against Derek Nonhoff. He's thrown 18 pitches, 13 strikes, and 5 balls. How about we make that 14 strikes as it finds its mark. Strike number 1. Oh, 0-1 with 2 down. Nonhoff delivers. Oh, that one. Oh, just barely sneaks in. Good pitch framing on the side of Throckmorton to pull that ball back into the zone. It was outside, but he pulls it back in. Now it's 0-2. Nationals staring at a quick 1-2-3. The pitch. Same area, same location, same spot. This time just a bit outside. It's ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the pitcher, Ty Robinson. As Nonhoff delivers. Swung on and fouled off the bat of Ty Rob for, once again, a 1-2 count. As head coach Ricky Holmes now going to run out and look for some baseballs? Is that what he's doing? Or is he going to have a talk with his dugout? He is going to have a talk with his dugout about something as that pitch is once more high. There's ball 2. 2-2 the count now. Interesting to see what coach. I'll have to ask him if he gets up here what that is about. The 2-2. High ball 3. Ty Robinson looking like he might be staring at a walk. 3-2 the count. Oh boy, I'm going to eat my words right here. It's 3-2 with 2 down to the pitcher, Ty Robinson. Nonhoff gets the sign from Throckmorton. Here comes that payoff full count. I knew I was going to eat my words as down goes Ty Robinson swinging. A quick 1-2-3 for the Nationals here in the top of the 7th. We're going to head to the bottom of the 7th. The last opportunity for Kearney to get 2 runs across to tie this game up, or 3 to win this game. We'll step aside and take a break. We can come back. More action here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
Larry's Glass is better known and has over 40 years of experience in glass replacement and installation. Whether you need a new window for your home, storefront, or vehicle, they have the expertise to get the job done. Larry's team of skilled professionals use the highest quality materials and techniques to ensure your satisfaction. Larry's takes pride in delivering outstanding service with affordable pricing and are on the Better Business Bureau honor roll. Trust Larry's Glass to take care of your glass needs, and you'll appreciate the difference that over 40 years of experience can make.
Swing into the season by calling Linda Meyer Law for all your legal needs. Our lineup consists of all-star caliber attorneys Bob Lindemeyer, Amanda Spikert, Kent Florum, Kent Turnbull, and rookie sensations Victoria Hervey and Natalie Hoffman. When life gets to the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, we'll step up to the plate and hit a home run for you. Call Linda Meyer Law, 534-6740. That's Linda Meyer Law, 534-6740.
All right, everybody, welcome back here to Memorial Field. It's time for the money to be made. It's the bottom of the 7th inning, last opportunity for Kearney as they trail by 2 runs, 5-3. 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error for the FNBO Nationals. 3 runs, 8 hits, 7 errors on the side of Kearney Runza. The Nationals again lead 5-2-3. Thank you again to our bottom of the 7th inning sponsor, Kevin McGann, and the Fortify Group, helping Nebraska families, farmers, and businesses for more than 50 years, as well as Lindemeyer Law. Call Lindemeyer Law for all your legal needs. Attorney Bob Lindemeyer, Amanda Spikert, Kent Florum, Kent Turnbull, and Victoria Hervey, and Natalie Hoffman. Call Lindemeyer Law, 534-6740 for all your legal needs. As that pitch is outside, ball 1 to Caleb Larson, who's up to bat here for Kearney. He is 1 for 3 today. He struck out looking in his first plate appearance, singled, and then grounded out in his second. He fouls that one right on back to the fence. Strike number 1. Didn't know why I put an accent on that one. Following Larson, it's Jace Blattner, and then Jacob Hansen. This order is what really got the Nationals about 2 innings ago in trouble with the bases to be loaded, though nothing came about for Kearney. A 1-1 count from Ty Robinson. Swung on and rocketed foul down the third base side. It's now 1-2 to Larson. Whew, I always get super stressed in these situations because the Nationals staring down the gun of getting walked off if they can't convert. 1-2. Ty Robinson sets and fires. Ooh, that one is just too tight inside for ball number 2. To Caleb Larson. So it's 2-2 the count with nobody out here in this bottom of the 7th. Nationals still lead 5-3. It's a little healthy lead. As one, Ty Robinson delivers. Once more, too low. It's ball 3 now as Robinson not looking to lead this bottom of the 7th off with a walk. 3-2 with nobody out as Ty Robinson gets the sign from Byer. He's going to look to pitch it. Looks like nice and tight inside as he sets and fires. That one rocketed into right field for a base hit. So there's a leadoff single from Caleb Larson, and now with that, one runner is on for Kearney with the game-tying run now at home plate, Jace Blattner. He's 2 for 3 today. He is singled in his last 2 at-bats, but started off with a flyout in today's game. Now there's a little bit of saving grace for the Nationals. There is a double play opportunity at second if Larson doesn't steal. But knowing him, he's got some speed, so he has stolen the base so far today. Could do it again. As Robinson glances at first and delivers. That pitch too high, but in there. Strike number 1 to Blattner. 0-1 the count. Following Blattner, Hansen, and then Quinn Foster in the hole for Kearney. Nobody out, 1 runner on. 5-3 lead for the Nationals. Robinson with the windup and the 0-1. Chopper on over to Polk. He gloves it to second, to first. It's not going to not even attempt to throw it to first. They'll get the easy ground out at second. So Blattner reaches on the fielder's choice. As down on over at first goes Larson. As I say, that's a force out. And just like that, there's 1 down in this inning to now bring up Jacob Hansen. He is singled in his last 2 at-bats, but then grounded out in his first at-bat. He's 2 for 3 today. So again, the dangerous part of the order here for Kearney in this bottom of the 7th. They've caused the most damage today on the hitting side. As Ty Rob's first pitch just outside ball 1 doesn't get too far away. It actually did squirt a little bit away from Tristan Byer. So it's 1-0 the count. Wynn pushing in from straightaway center. It's Robinson with the 1-0. Make that 2-0 as it's down low once again to Hansen. 2-0 with 1 out, and Blattner at first base for Kearney. Tense situation again, game-tying run at the plate right now to hit. As Robinson shakes off a couple signs from Byer. That time finds one he likes. We'll take a long look at first, and we'll pick off Blattner, but he gets back in plenty of time, so we'll still stay at 2-0 the count. Blattner lucky enough to get onto first with the speed. He reached again on a fielder's choice in his last at-bat. 2-0. Robinson sets and fires. That one's fouled right back to the netting for strike number 1 off the bat of Jacob Hansen. Tense situation. Wind starting to pick up at a much more aggressive pace than it has all game, blowing in from straightaway center, which is a bit of a blessing for the Nationals. So if one gets popped to the outfield, it'll stay in the park. 2-1. Ty Robb glances and delivers. Oh my good heavens! That just barely outside ball 3. I mean, it was, again, I got the advantage here being so high up. I can see the zone. It was in there, but a home plate umpire said, nuh-uh, it's 3-1 now the count as Robinson glaring at a walk. That one lifted out in the right field. Zyler's going to get under it, and he gloves it for out number 2. What was looking like a walk is now turned into the second out of this bottom of the 7th inning, and 2 are down now to bring up to bat Quinn Foster. He's 1 for 1 today, singled in his first plate appearance. Sacrifice flied out in his second, and then was hit by a pitch in his third. He has Jace Blattner on over at first still for Kearney, but 2 down in this inning. As Ty Robinson was looking for the final out to anchor a great victory for North Platte. He He fires in the first pitch. High, but in there. Strike number 1 to Foster. So it's an 0-1 count into Quinn Foster. Following Foster, Cole Throckmorton for Kearney. As Robinson takes a deep breath, his 0-1. Turned on, it's going to get into center field for a base hit. So with 2 down, 2 runners now get on with the game-winning run now at the plate for Kearney. It's Cole Throckmorton. So far now, out here comes head coach Ricky Holmes to have a talk with his pitcher. Throckmorton, though, luckily 0 for 2 today. Walked in his first plate appearance, flew out in his second, and then struck out swinging in his third. Not having a very strong offensive night on his side. Defensively, hasn't been the end of the world in terms of him. 2 down now. This could be the game right here for the Nationals. Again, Throckmorton, if he hits one out of here, it's game over. But if Ty Robinson, the fireworks are already shooting off. You got to wait a little bit. We're not done with the game yet. If Ty Robinson can do it right here, it will record another great outing for the Nationals and really solidify this team as one to be so very afraid of. Well, they already should be so very afraid. They're 21-13. That pitch, it's in there. Strike number 1 from Ty Robinson on that outside part of the plate. He's playing the outer edges to see if he can get one just to chop on over to one of his infielders. That time it sneaks in. It's 0-1 the count to Throckmorton. As Ty Robinson delivers. Off speed, 2 off the mark. It's ball number 1. 1-1 the count now. Poor head coach Ricky Holmes probably eclipsed again another day of walking 40,000 steps with the way he's pacing right now. Blattner at second, Foster at first. Robinson glances at first. He now delivers his 1-1. Chopper on over to Jack Polk. He throws it to first, and the Nationals will pick up a victory, their second in a row, and they'll take down Kearney in the season series 2-0. A great game from the Nationals, a great game from Carson Johnson, and then Ty Robinson coming in and cleaning it up. The Nationals, they pick up the victory. They're now 22-13 on the year, 5-3. 5 runs on 3 hits, 1 error compared to 3 runs on 10 hits and 7 errors on the side of Kearney. Another victory for the Nationals before they head out to Cheyenne for the Cheyenne tournament. They're coming in on a nice, yet again, win streak, 2-0 in their last 2 games. A great game from the Nationals. Even though the hitting production didn't come in, still kept it competitive and ultra aggressive. They pick up the victory 5-3. We'll step aside and take a break. We come back. Quick stop post-game show right here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Are you or a loved one in need of medical equipment to improve your quality of life? Look no further than Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment. Our state-of-the-art and affordable medical products are specifically designed to return your independence. From manual and power wheelchairs, mobility scooters, and lift chairs to walking aids, ramps, hospital beds, and bath safety products. We have everything you need to make your home a comfortable and safe place to live. We even provide CPAP and BiPAP equipment and supplies, as well as oxygen equipment and supplies. Call Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment today.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
With a whole lot of things being so expensive these days, you'll be surprised to know you can buy an RV for under $20,000. The Sunray Travel Trailers at Larry's RV in North Platte. Sunrays give you the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors while still enjoying some home comforts like AC, water, heater, refrigerator, and stovetops. Just some of the features you'll find in a Sunray. Plus, Sunrays are lightweight and most can even be pulled with a car. Stop in today and see the Sunray 129 and 149 models and the Sunray Light 16 HP at Larry's RV in North Platte.
It's not too late to register your students for the fall 2023 Bullpup preschool or kindergarten year at North Platte Public Schools. We are excited to assist you at the Welcome Center located at 301 West F Street in North Platte, and we are open from 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Or you can register from the comfort of your own home online at mppsd.org. Come learn and grow with us at North Platte Public Schools.
Attention Toyota lovers. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle or need top-notch service? Premier Toyota's got you covered. Their knowledgeable and friendly staff will help you find the perfect ride to fit your lifestyle and budget. Plus, their state-of-the-art service center is staffed with expert technicians who will keep your vehicle running like new. Visit Premier Toyota today and experience the best selection, service, and prices around. You won't be disappointed. Toyota, let's go places.
The game's in the books. Time for the post-game show on FM 98.1 and online at northplatepost.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Field, where the FNBO Nationals pick up their second straight victory and defeat Kearney in the season series here today, 5-3. 5 runs on, 3 hits for the FNBO Nationals, alongside 1 error. They left 8 stranded on the base pad compared to 3 runs on 10 hits and 7 errors on the side of Kearney. They had themselves a terrible defensive day. Poor Nolan Smith on over at first really was struggling, and because of that, the Nationals were able to really execute well in converting those missed opportunities into scoring opportunities that then was converted into runs actually getting across. But it was a kind of quiet start to this ball game for the first 2 innings between Bryce Anderson as well as Carson Johnson, as they didn't allow a single run to come across on either side. The Nationals did load the bases, though, in their first inning, but couldn't get anything across. It wasn't until the top of the third when the Nationals were able to get a run to come across on a balk from Bryce Anderson. Got Carson Johnson home on that one, but then it all kind of just fell apart for Johnson there in that bottom of the third inning, where he gave up 3 runs. It wasn't his best inning of work, but the Nationals still kept in it and still put the work in. Came back in the top of the 5th with 4 runs in that top of the 5th, and from that point on, shut out the rest of the way with Ty Robinson coming in for one Carson Johnson and really just laying it down and keeping it locked down. The Nationals pick up the 5-3 victory as head coach Ricky Holmes is making his way up to the press box this very second. Another strong victory on the side for his squad, now 22-13 on the year. Another one you could say is probably their best season in quite some time, this National squad is, and man, oh man, they just can get it done. If they're hitting just like today, even though they didn't really record a lot of hits, they were able to get on the base pads, and that is what was super important. If they can get on those base pads, then they can pick up the victories and get runs across, as they were able to do so here today. Cole Throckmorton not really been able to thwart, well, I want to say no pun intended, but his name didn't really play well, but wasn't his best night in terms of stopping the Nationals from picking up a lot of their runs, or at least advancing a lot of their runs, and in doing so, the Nationals, I feel like now, have finally maybe cracked the code on the left-handed pitching situation, where they had struggled to really get some runs across on the left-handed pitching department, really getting some good jumps here today, as head coach Ricky Holmes is now with us. And coach, another strong victory, going 2-0 against Kearney on the season, a team just like Hastings that has provided some bugaboos over the year. Really, first game early in the season, really nothing can be taken away too much on that comeback. But right here, this team, you've given up those 3 runs in the 1 inning, but really from that point on, really actually just that 1 inning alone really being the lone bugaboo, this team really locked it down from start to finish.
Yeah, definitely top to bottom districts. Everybody's kind of been beating up everybody. Kearney sweeps GI, GI sweeps us, we sweep Kearney, split with Hastings. And then Hastings and GI split, so everybody's kind of beating up everybody. So kind of tough to tell who the best team is. I know that there's 4 or 5 teams that on any given day that can go out and win districts. So anytime we come out here, it's good to compete and give ourselves a chance. Obviously would have liked to have more than 3 hits, but kind of normal game for us, par for the course of just making teams play catch, putting stress on them, putting pressure on them, and luckily came out with the dub.
You did put a lot of pressure on that. 7 errors on the side of Kearney. Again, another team that's well coached, just really struggling with that amount of speed and pressure you're putting on the base pads. And it feels like this game finally was the breakthrough against left-handed pitchers. Kearney throwing 2 lefties out there, and really you didn't see those same woes and struggles on the base pads with runners on that we saw earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think it was more so, honestly, just seeing that first lefty he had pitched against us in the first game. So I think it was more so just used to his kind of rhythm. I wouldn't chalk us up to being perfect with the lefties on the bump. Actually, the guy that you're going to talk to ended up getting picked off, but can't really do anything there. Just first movement, and pitcher just happened to guess right and pick him off. So, all in all, I was happy with the performance. Definitely, I mean, any of these conference games, you're going to have high energy. Was getting a little chirpy out there, but, as long as we can control that, that's what we play for.
Yep, and again, still, victory is a victory, and with the way this team's playing, still so many more games left to go. Unfortunately, though, a lot of them on the road, which is, as we talked about, a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing because you're able to see so many different teams in hostile, I wouldn't say neutral environments, but environments that are not at home, so you're kind of able to get into a rhythm of not playing at home when you get to district time. But, when the team starts to have a couple of games where they've dropped maybe 2 or 3 like we saw at the Omaha tournament, it is nice to kind of maybe get home and reset. But do you feel like this kind of road stint at the moment has kind of played directly into what you were thinking?
I mean, it was nice having all those home games in May, but other than that month, pretty much every month that I've coached here, it seems like we're predominantly on the road. So I think it's just one of those things that we're getting used to, being on the road. Like tonight, I mean, we're on the road at 8:45 tomorrow to drive to Cheyenne. We play Cheyenne and Hastings tomorrow, Idaho Falls on Friday. So got about 12 or 13 games left, and pretty much everyone's going to be a quality opponent. Guys know that if we show up and play our game, we got a puncher's chance against anybody. And if we don't show up and think that we're better than we are, we could lose to anybody.
Yep, and as you said, it's going to be quite a start to that Cheyenne tournament. It's not the Rapid City tournament where you got kind of lucked into some nice opponents you're going to be playing against. Of course, Cheyenne, which has been a bugaboo this season, and then, of course, Hastings, which has always been a thorn in your side. So still continuing the quality competition, which, iron sharpens iron, which, could kind of, in both ways, while record-wise maybe couldn't be good if you don't pick up the victories. Again, you're still sharpening that iron to get closer to districts.
Yeah, I talked with Ty Lane, who's a Cheyenne coach last year, and they kind of usually tournaments, they'll usually put one better side and one not so good side just so those guys get all those quality games. And they had put us on the side that was with the lesser of the teams last year, and I told them, hey, we're going to have a better team next year. We're going to be older. We want to be on the better side, play those good games because, obviously wins and losses does set the seeding for districts, but you can't put a price on those quality opponents, whether it's win or loss, because once we get into the postseason, it's all going to be quality teams. So got what we asked for, and now we'll see if we're hungry enough to take off that big bite.
You'll love to see that. Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping on by. He, though, brought starting pitcher Carson Johnson up here with him. First time I can speak to you here this year, and I think, again, even though you look at that one inning where you gave up those 3 runs, I think overall this was a really strong quality start. Only using 2 arms, which is always a blessing before you head on the road to a tournament. So, again, Kearney's one of those teams that over the years has just been one of those thorn in your sides where you just, no matter how hard you play, you always, somehow, some way, they eke out a victory. Well, you turned it on their heads this year, picking up the the Game 3 victory of the season against them, and then right here, another grinding out game. Went 2 for 3 today. Man, I'm telling you, overall, how does it feel not only to have a really strong start, but also be productive on the offensive side and contribute in such a massive way?
It feels awesome, but I mean, everyone else plays a part too. You can't just put it all on yourself, So you just kind of try not to be selfish, but I mean, everyone did something that contributed.
And I think, and that kind of boils down to what you probably haven't heard, but I've called you old reliable out there. And that's really in the best way, because sometimes when the team really needs a jump starter or some way offensively, maybe even defensively at the same time to get something going, you always seem to poke your head up at the right opportunities. And not only that, it seems to energize the crew out there. And as a leader now in this position, what are some of the things that you are telling the younger guys when, at this time you were down 3 runs, it was looking kind of rough there? What were you telling the guys to maybe still keep them locked in and focused, but also just keep that light-hearted energy that we've come to know in this squad for?
Well, the past couple games I've kind of been in some sort of a mood. So, I kind of came out, had to apologize to the guys. And, from here on out, I've always said, that's not me. I've played with these guys forever, for 4 or 5 years. And so I told them that's not me. And from now on, I'm coming out here. I'm not playing for myself. I'm playing for them. They're my brothers. So I'm always making sure that I'm trying to do my part.
Well, good golly gracious, it sure did look like a great part out here today. But again, from quality opponent to quality opponent, going to Cheyenne, and man, oh man, you're going to be facing Cheyenne, which has been I would think, the only team that I can highlight and circle has been the Kryptonite this season. So far, 0-3 against them, and lost in the championship game of that Rapid City tournament. Left is probably a sour taste in all of your mouths. But talking about the sharpening of iron between these opponents, seeing so many of these teams yet again, how different does it get in terms of the third or fourth time you played a team, or is it kind of now you're starting to kind of identify the quirks of these teams?
Yeah, well, they certainly do have our number. We played against them 2 years ago, and we had theirs. So now they always had a vendetta against us. But, slowly and surely we're going to come out. We're going to give them our best. And, I know deep within us we got them. We have them. We beat them 2 years ago. We can beat them now.
Mm-hmm. And that's what, again, I was going to say third time's a charm, but I think the most best type of sweet revenge is getting it back at their house in their hometown.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Again, we're going now a little bit on a longer trip. Been on a long road stand, but it feels like at this point in your many seasons, it's just kind of become a natural type of part of the season, lots of road games. But, from going from Lincoln to Omaha to now take the pretty long trek out to Cheyenne, what are some of the things that you specifically and the team do to still remain focused on that travels? Because so many times there have been so many different teams that on this travel kind of lose a little bit of that focus, and when they come out for that first game, fall flat.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna go out there. We're just gonna do us, because we know we can beat every single team if we do it right. And it doesn't matter if we're at home, sleeping in our own bed. We don't care. If we're in a hotel, we're coming out in the same energy that we would if we were at home.
Love it. Carson Johnson joining us here, picked up the victory here in today's game against Kearney, 5-3. He is also our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the game, recording 2 big hits to really start off the game right for the Nationals and hold the fort down in the beginning portions when things really needed to get the tone set properly. So he is our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the game when money matters. Talk to Marshall Doty and Mark Tillman, Ameriprise Financial Advisors in North Platte, Nebraska, about professional financial services. Ameriprise Financial Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Well, Carson, thank you so much for stopping on by. When we come back, we'll get into the final segment here of our Quick Stop post-game show and send it off for a strong tournament in Cheyenne. When we come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Save money at the bump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair Dino Pay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and for real shakes and smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
This is Kirk Carter with Red Willow Chemical. Red Willow Chemical is your one-stop shop for all your crop protection needs. We sell and support products from top manufacturers like Bayer, BASF, Syngenta, Corteva, and FMC. Call me today, 308-340-7751. Visit us online at rwchemical.com to check out all your options and make sure you're getting the right products to optimize yield.
Growing relationships, one crop at a time. Red Willow Chemical.
Sandhill State Bank is a bank for Sandhillers, families, entrepreneurs, teachers, nonprofits, farmers, nurses, contractors, ranchers, stylists, artists, retailers, professionals, outfitters, restaurateurs, mechanics. It takes all of us to make the Sandhills prosper, and Sandhill State Bank is here to help. Open an account today at sandhillstate.com/open or visit one of our 10 locations across the Sandhills to start growing the Sandhills together. Sandhill State Bank, member FDIC.
We're back here to the Quick Stop post-game show. Quick Stop, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, always open right around the corner. Nationals pick up the 5-3 victory here over Kearney, sweeping them in the season series, which is so good to hear. That now moves Kearney to 14-14 on the season. Nationals now sitting at 22-13, traveling tomorrow to the Cheyenne tournament, which will begin on Friday against playing a lot of really strong opponents that they've seen a couple of times this season. And maybe this time about they will turn it around and upset those teams that have kind of picked up the victories over them. Well, that'll be it for us. We'll see you next week for the Kearney tournament, which begins on Friday. Here again, of course, on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and as always, live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com. Good night, everybody. I will see you all